Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing tonight? I hope you are having a fantastic week so far. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. That means it's time for your boys, Chris and Scott, your hosts for the Action Lab, to get you all situated for week 2 of the NFL and have some fun talking some sports tonight. We are your premier sports and entertainment talk show on Twitch. It's like talking sports with your friends and family inside your living room, except everyone's all over the world. Scotty, we are here. It has been a crazy week 1. It is in the books officially with the Monday night game. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I want to see...
Who played on Monday?
Some team, some rando teams. But first, I want to get an update. I want to get an update on that sweet, sweet beard you got growing. It is coming in nice and strong.
Thick and deep. Guys, I mean, come on. Give me some credit. It still shows up better in person than it does on camera. But it's a lot. It's a lot. It's itchy, though. I still don't like it. I don't know why people have these things. It's not my favorite, Chris.
I mean, at what point... because there was a point where I went through the itchy stages, but then after a while, it kind of goes away. I don't know when I hit that point with my beard, when I first grew.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm like talking to people at work and I'm just petting myself in the face.
I mean, you can hear it.
No one said anything, but
you know it's good.
I noticed after the fact.
You know it's good when you can hear the scratch. You can hear it in the microphone.
It's there, guys.
It's there.
Let me get real close there.
Now, as you get close,
it's worse. I gotta actually clean it up a little bit.
As you get close, I can see it coming over the lips. Now,
I gotta clean up the lips.
Just
I know.
Take a trimmer.
I already have cleaned up the lips before, but not in the last couple days. So gotta clean that up again.
Yeah. See, I mean, at least yours is mostly one color. Mine, mine's the gray coming in here. It's like, I mean, eventually it's gonna get down to this section. It's gonna get down there.
If I'm being fully honest, Chris, I have some gray on the side as well, and it's devastating. It's devastating. Actually, it's not. I literally don't care. But
what do we got, Rex?
It's there.
Might wanna check the server for a little payback from the disaster crew.
Oh, check the server. Ooh, what do we got? What is
this? Is the server Discord? Is that the lingo? I don't know what's happening.
Are you checking the Discord, Rec? Is that what you're talking about? What do we got? What are we missing here? Scott, check it for us.
Give me a second here.
Oh no, so I think I saw it come up. Are you guys streaming Wednesdays now? Is that what I saw?
I did see that. But I think they clipped something.
Oh.
Paybacks. No, that's Rec. I don't know what I'm looking at here, Chris.
We'll have to
what am I supposed to be finding? Someone help me.
All right, let's get to the chat here while Rec, maybe you can help us. Oh, the clips. I'll have to check the clips. I haven't seen them. I'll have to go check them out. Rec, by the way, can you throw your link into the description here so that you guys into the chat so people knows where to find you and when your stream is going. So that way, you guys get some love from all of us here at the Action Lab. Thank you. Let's see here. Hold on one second. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
I think I'm watching the clip right now, Chris. Hold on. You just carry me for a second.
Yeah, no worries. Gray here too. I blame Castle Heward, says Aegis. Hey, welcome in, Aegis. What do we got?
What
do we got?
Helv. What the? I try not to cuss because my in-laws get mad at me when I'm doing it on stream, but what the fuck, man?
What happened? What are we doing?
He thought I was a Kentucky fan. like in college, like college basketball, Kentucky?
Bruh. What is that?
No, everyone's just like, what are you talking about? He's a Kansas fan. I don't know how they pieced that together. Maybe because of the Chiefs and Jayhawk. Like, come on, Helv.
Come on, Helv.
Unbelievable.
I thought you.
I mean,
that hurts. I thought you knew us better. Hey. Welcome in, Fireball, with the raid. Appreciate the love, Fireball. Hope you had a great stream. Can we get a shout out for Fireball? Hope you had a great stream, bro. Hope it was good. Welcome in for all of you guys that were hanging out over there with Fireball. Let me get to the rest of the chat here. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone treating? Yes, at Casually Average, we're doing fantastic. Chairman of the board, never thought I'd say this, but actually, Scotty, you need to trim that up. It's actually overgrown.
It is overgrown. I know.
We got JK. So, Chris, about Monday night. I mean, I've been in that same situation and have gone for it. Just saying, I'm not a coach, but I play one in Madden, and that's that. There's some clock management that happens in Madden that I think should be prerequisites for every first coach ever. That needs to be a thing. Howdy, football wife. How are we doing? Canada relief. How are we doing? What up, guys? Chiefs looking like the Chiefs. Broncos looking like the Broncos. Broncos all.
Ooh, who said that? That was a good comment.
Canada relief.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bears. Peoria Matt. All about them Bears.
Big dub over those Niners.
That washed out field, man. Home field advantage at its full finest.
Knocked out our survivor pool. Chris, I've had time to think a little bit more about my actions with the survivor pool on Sunday.
Okay.
While I do not change my opinion. All right. I do not change my opinion in all other pools I'm in and the ones in Vegas, the big ones in Vegas. If you don't win, you're out. So a tie, you're out. So I don't change my opinion, but I apologize for how aggressive it came off. It caught me off guard when you said it. I was like, what are you talking about? No, you can't have that. So I apologize. Anyone, I think there was like 5, including yourself, Chris, that had Indy. And I realized, like, if Indy got knocked out, we would have like 5 of us left, Chris. Like, we would be down to so few people left in the survivor pool already.
We need to keep it fun for everybody, right?
Let's keep it rolling a little bit.
Let's go. Let's see. Hell, going to bed early tonight. Have a good night. Thanks, Fireball. Appreciate it. What else do we have? Canada relief. I think the Broncos coach wanted to save Russell from embarrassment on the 4th and 5. I mean, it's still we'll touch on that in a minute. I have a lot to say. F the Bears, says Milwaukee's. Milwaukee, you're going to love what we have to say about your boys tonight. I think you might enjoy the stream tonight. So, G Girl, welcome in. Rec, can we get a shout out to G Girl? And yeah, go ahead and we're going to get you some love. G Girl, if you're not following her, she is bringing it each and every single day, every single time in the chat. So, go give her some love. And, she's covering NFL all day on Sunday. I don't know how she does it. That's a long day, but she crushes. I mean,
soloing, Chris, like we do it together, at least. She solos it and she crushes it. So definitely check her out. She's awesome.
There we go. Scotty, we have a clip from Reckoning. I have a feeling.
That's the clip. Oh, no. This is.
What is this?
He clipped our show.
Oh, let's see. What is this?
It says I don't like my payback.
What do we got? Oh, he clipped out or what you were saying about Helv and everything.
Yeah. Apparently it was payback for me calling Duck a monkey. They're animals at least. You don't confuse Kansas with Kentucky. All right.
That's an insult to anybody from Kansas.
Kentucky is trash.
Scotty, you have your Chiefs playing tomorrow. Now we're going to preview that game, but you have all your gear. You're ready to go. Guys, just a heads up, we will not be live for Thursday Night Football this week. So we are going to, we should have said this a little bit earlier in the season. We're only going to do a handful of Thursday night games overall, just based off of just scheduling, like with the family and everything else. There's only a certain ones that we're going to be able to get to. So we will let you know every time we do a Thursday night watch along. And from there, we will, play our Thursday night into Wednesday into Thursday night, head-to-head matchups with you guys again. Us against the Lab Rats. So we'll make sure that is more clear moving forward whenever we're going to be doing a Thursday night football watch along. So We will still be doing our. I think Scott really wanted to really get into this one, and but Scott, we got to figure out where we're watching the game
tomorrow. I know. Yeah. Honestly, part of the reason we're not streaming tomorrow, guys, is me just being selfish. I don't get to go to sports bars very often or whatever, and I just want to go Thursday night, go to a sports bar, watch a big game with my Chiefs, and just chill out and
Which, by the way, if you guys are local, maybe we'll throw it in the Discord. Maybe if you guys want to come swing by and check us out, check the game out and hang out with us. Like, why would you want to hang out with us? I mean, you probably want to watch the game, but we might throw that out on the Discord and maybe on the Twitterverse to get some of you local folks out here in Colorado to join us up somewhere. So we'll see. We'll let you know. Let me get to all of our we got to get all the business out of the way first, Scotty. Should we get that out of the way? And then we're going to get to the chat, and then we're going to get into our top stories, and then we're going to dive into all of our week 2 matchups. There's a lot of interesting matchups this week, Scott. Can't wait to dive into those. And you have it coming in hot at the end of the show. We have our best bets. This is our biggest show we've ever had. Guaranteed, by far.
Let's go. All right, let's do some housekeeping here,
Let's
Chris.
do some housekeeping.
Get the business done.
Guys, all of you guys that are here right now, if you guys aren't hitting that follow button, I don't know what you're doing. It's free to hit the follow button. You know how close we are? We are 7 follows away from 600 followers. 600 followers. We are almost there. Can we get there tonight, Scotty? I think we can.
I would like that. I mean, quite frankly, let's just roll into like 20, 30 followers a show. How do we do that?
I don't know. We got to get people watching the show. That means you guys got to share the channel, right? Guys, if you guys have people out there that are, sports fans that like to be a part of, more sports commentary, and you're talking sports with them at work, whatever, tell them about the show. Let them know. It's not like we're on every night and we're a time suck. We are only on a couple times. We have a lot of fun chatting with you guys. So get them in. We can grow our community that way. So let's do it. Hit that follow button. It's free. Also, if you guys ever miss a show, if you guys ever have to leave early or show up late, totally fine. We have our VODs that we're uploading, and we have our podcast that we just threw out in the chat. Also, make sure that you guys are supporting the channel if you can. It makes us feel fantastic and fuzzy inside, right? If you can hit that subscribe button, there's a free version of the subscribe button with linking your Twitch and your Amazon Prime. That's always helpful. And you can subscribe to one channel each month for free. Exclamation point Prime in the chat is how you can go about doing that. So go ahead, check that out. You won't regret it. And you'll be able to get all the emotes, all the fun things. You'll be able to get your walk-up song if you want a walk-up sound effect. That's in our About section called in the blurb. I don't even have a walk-up song.
We
don't have walk-up songs, Scotty.
I want a walk-up song. That's been one of my lifelong dreams.
What would
have a walk-up song?
What would your walk-up song be? Not to put you on the spot. I mean, there's a lot out there.
The song back in the day was like, where it's like, I made it. I'm dreaming of the life I'm living. That's only if I make it though.
Because I know that song. Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah. I did that really poorly because I haven't heard it in a long time. But back in the day, I was like, that'd be my song. If I was a Major League Baseball player, I'd just be, I'm playing a song that says I made it and I'm living the life I dreamed about. Damn right. I mean, G-Girl, I like that song. No, I do too. Of course, obviously. What would yours be, Chris?
Oh, there's it's a Jay-Z song. It's Moment of Clarity. It's not a well-known song, but I was like, if I was ever in like UFC or if I was in like, boxing or something else, that would be it. But I was like, maybe that could translate over to like baseball or something else too. But it's a very good song. None of it compares to the Edwin Diaz walk up. Have you seen the Edwin Diaz walk up in New York Mets?
No, well, yeah, Money Magic put it out there. Yeah, that song is perfect.
So
perfect.
Oh, wait, what just happened? By the way, what just happened?
Am I gone?
I don't know how that got.
Did I die, guys? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Now I'm like a spirit above. Oh, that's you. That's what you're getting ready to do in a little bit here, isn't that, Chris?
Cue the trumpet. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you might be right.
It was touching. You know what's crazy is I was staring right at that and didn't even realize I was gone. I was staring at our screen and like I didn't even notice, Chris. Didn't even notice I wasn't there.
You guys need a beer emote. Yeah, we should get a beer emote.
We have one. Yeah.
We have that one, but maybe like
the rat beer one.
The rat beer one. Yeah. So,
I made it, guys. I made it.
Scotty just wanted to return with his new song. That's all. Yeah. No, 100%. So, yeah. So go ahead. If you want, if you were a subscriber to the channel, go ahead and go to our About section. There's all those panels with our schedules and our links to our socials and everything else. There's a blurb. You can create your own walk-up sound effect. Whenever you join the channel, it makes a sound effect. So there you go. Also, if you're here, just participate. Like, we love talking sports with you. Introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and who's your favorite team is. That's what we really get excited about when we have new folks coming in, and we love to welcome those new folks in each and every single time as well. Woo! What else do I got? Social media. If you haven't checked out our latest TikTok, it's partly if you go to our TikTok, you'll see me.
Chris just laying it out there
For the Broncos game on Monday night. I was just putting it all out there. We're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight, but go give that a like if you enjoy watching me in misery. So there you go. You also need some more commands, LOL. G-Girl can train you. Man.
G-Girl, are you up for that? Because we're not very smart, so it might take a while.
Yeah. We try to be strategic with what we do with our commands, and then we just start.
I literally don't even know how you even go about making commands, guys.
So there you go.
She's in. She doesn't mind. She doesn't know that she's getting into that's like a full day. That's like an 8-hour workday right there.
That's right. Great decision to kick. There you go. 64-yard field goal.
So.
All right.
I thought so.
So. That's where I think that's everything. I think that's, go give us some follows, go give us all the love, and then we will get to you guys, in all those social platforms if you reach out to us at any point too. So, all right, let's do it. Let's dive into the water cooler. We have a couple topics that we usually like to hit off at the top of the hour, officially at the top of the hour now. It's 8 o'clock our time, so it's perfect timing, Scotty. And first thing, we have 2 stories for you tonight, and that is one, coulda, shoulda. Unbelievable.
I just start laughing every time. It's so awesome.
I mean, this is my life. That was a good pick.
That was a good pick you found right there.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
Russell looks like his lips almost like down, like kind of sad, and your new coach is just like, what the hell have I gotten myself into? I'm in way over my head.
I got done watching that game, and I literally was just like sitting back in my chair like this. No emotion. In disbelief of what I just saw. Like, there was zero emotion coming out of my face, my body, anything. I was just like, what did I just witness? Man, if you
G-Girl, Geno Smith blocked me on Twitter 8 years ago. I told him he was cheeks.
He was what?
big surprise. I mean, first of all, blocking people when you get that, I mean, that was kind of honest, G-Girl. You were being honest with him, but you, obviously coming from a Giants perspective, looking at probably the Jets QB at the time, I would imagine, he was just like, I ain't dealing with that. People are so sensitive.
People are so sensitive. He went the Kyler Murray route with the whole social media, getting like blocking or disowning people. And
dude, Derek Carr blocks like anyone who says anything remotely. Like, and then his brother David like is super sensitive about him too and protects him. It's the Carr family is bizarre, and I think like if you want to think, that would be one thing I'd want to do, but also be terrified to do, is go to Thanksgiving dinner with the Carr family. I think they like it's privately like their own cult, Chris. Like I think they're weird. I think it's going to be super weird and uncomfortable. But I also like uncomfortable. So
You do. You thrive in that environment 100%.
yeah, but more so like making other people feel uncomfortable. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I want other people to feel uncomfortable.
Fun fact, from a side view, I look like Derek Carr, says Reckoning. Oh. With the
It's only a game.
Why
you have to be mad?
all right. So I have a lot to say, and I am going to go and do something that I have never done on this show before. And I am going to steal a mini Chris Bayless coming in hot. Okay. Here we are.
Bye guys. I'll see you in a little bit.
This is my time. It's my turn. It's my turn. Is that what Bayless says too? So I'm sitting here on Monday night and I'm watching this game unfold, and it's not going well. Let me just say it that way. This is probably one of the worst coaching debuts I think you could possibly have in the NFL. Now, first half, Geno Smith looks incredible. He looks like the next coming of Patrick Mahomes. He's out there. He's absolutely just tearing it up. And that's because we can't figure out how to get anything pressure-wise on Geno Smith. We made him look fantastic. So, we just can't figure out a way to stop Geno Smith. Now, fast forward. Let's go to the second half. The second half changes our tides a little bit, right? Second half, some good points, right? We don't let them score at all, which is another concerning aspect of this, because the fact that they didn't score a single point in that second half and they still won this game is a little bit concerning. Anyways, I'm watching the fact that we didn't let me go back to the first half for 1 second. We didn't target a single wide receiver until 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the second quarter. We targeted tight ends, we targeted running backs, we targeted everybody but wide receivers. We have one of the best quarterbacks, supposedly, that we brought in to fix that issue and get the ball to those receivers. We can't even do that. I don't think, and I could be wrong here, but I don't think we targeted a single wide receiver at the end of the game. So, 2 catches for wide receivers in the first half. 10 plays, not a single ball went to a wide receiver on the last series of the game. I feel like that's a problem. 3rd and 14. The Broncos had 1:11 on the clock. They called their first timeout with 20 seconds. They had 51 seconds off the clock. I don't know if you guys watched the Manning cast. I think Manning he asked for like 22 timeouts on the cast. Everyone is calling for timeouts. Everyone but our coaching staff and Russell Wilson. So, but keep in mind, we use the timeouts at a very integral part of the game. We'll get to that in a second. But the biggest thing is, why are we taking the ball out of the hands of a guy that we're paying $250 million to be a franchise quarterback? Teams, we couldn't get up to the line. There was no discipline here. We just couldn't figure out how to get to the line and get a playoff without like 1 or 2 seconds on the clock. There's preparation stuff. This comes back to preseason. Teams that didn't play their starting preseason quarterbacks were 1-6 against the teams that did play their starting quarterbacks in preseason. We act like this 64-yarder is a gimme. So, like that's a thing. But you brought Russ in for moments like this. You didn't bring him in for the second quarter. Like, he played great. He played fine. Teddy Bridgewater is good in the second quarter. Geno's good in the first half. Trubisky's good in the first half. Trey Lance is good in the first quarter. You need guys that play good in the second half. That's why the Mahomes and the Bradys and the Allens get paid that money, because they're good in the second half when they need to win the game. Like, the Rams, they were bad. The Bills were very good against the Rams in the first half. But hey, Allen can get it done in the second half. When games are decided on an average of 4 points in the NFL, it matters. Those second half quarterbacks matter. And you didn't let him be a second half quarterback when you take the ball out of his hands and you kick a 63-yard field goal. It's only been done twice ever. The 64-yard field goal at all. It's just out of control. Russ was good. I don't think he was great, but he was good. 340 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 101 quarterback rating, 69% completion 69% completion percentage. And you don't give him a chance on 4th and 5. The percentages? If you give me a 45% chance to convert a 4th down or a 7% chance to kick a field goal, I know I've seen like a bunch of different percentage differences over the different networks. You take the higher percentage play. It was frustrating. There were some positives out of it. Patrick Surtain played well. He shut down DK Metcalf for the most part that game. We didn't allow points in the second half. Jerry Jeudy showed up and he made some plays. I mean, it was kind of a weird play, a short thrown ball, but he converted. He looked good. But I'm just saying, like, what are we doing? Now, Coach Nathaniel Hackett came out and said he made a mistake. He didn't say that after the game, but he said it later. But he still was like, we made a mistake in retrospect, knowing it didn't work. The field goal didn't work. That still doesn't take ownership of what you didn't do correctly in this game. They'll get it fixed. The Broncos will be fine. You'll hear that here in a little bit when we get into our best bets. But it was frustrating, Scott. It was frustrating, and that's what I have to say about that.
Bro, I'm alive, guys, by the way. Nobody panic again. But, bro, I have so much to say about this game as well. Like, dude, what's so ironic about it? This might be the worst head coaching debut ever in football.
Yeah.
With how it went down. Because you talk about the clock management at the end. That's fine. What about the shotgun running plays that caused 2 fumbles at the goal line?
Shotgun running plays on the goal line are absolutely... They should be taken away from the game. You shouldn't be allowed as a coaching staff to do shotgun plays or shotgun handoff plays.
Yeah, like the calls there. Like, and another thing, it seemed like the offense was always discombobulated. They had 2 delay of game penalties, and even when they didn't get a delay of game, they were always snapping the ball with like 1 second on the clock. Like, are people not getting is Russ not getting a play? What's happening? This is why you have preseason. You get out there, you get all these kinks out. They didn't do it. It looks really bad. It was an awful debut. Like, literally, there are some people that are literally like, is he on the hot seat already? And I'm like, no, he's not on the hot. It's 1 game. He's not on the hot seat. But it was an awful debut, Chris. Like, he couldn't have dreamed that up any worse.
And he calls those timeouts I was talking about. He called them during the kneeling of the ball at the very end of the game.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Don't do that. He was awful. The game plan itself was okay, but it was a lot of the offense did well with yardage, but it was a lot of underneath short stuff. I guess they were taking Seattle likes to be aggressive with their front 7, so they wanted to get the ball out quick, do some underneath. But I saw this graphic. So there's some, I don't know the website actually, and I think
I know where you're going with this. Yeah,
that it was like they do like a heat map of where quarterbacks like to throw the ball, and so red equals where quarterback likes to throw the ball. Blue is where they don't throw it very often, whatever. And they took 2021 season of Russ Wilson, and all of the red sections were short and outside.
Correct.
And everything in the middle was blue.
Yep.
And guess what? His heat map for first week, when everyone's like, oh, Russ just needs to get out of Pete Carroll's shadow, like he needs to get to where he can let Russ cook, let everything happen. It's the same damn thing. It was the same damn offense, Chris. It was the same offense. In Seattle. In fact, it might have been a little less aggressive. Outside of that deep throw to Jeudy, which was underthrown, but still 67 yards, fine. They didn't go downfield. He didn't throw the middle field hardly at all. You look at that last drive for that 64-yarder, I think 8 of their 9 offensive plays were pass short right. Pass short right. The last one before their field goal was pass short left. That was the only difference. All of them were short. It was either right or left. A lot of them were right. The last one was left. Maybe it would have been a good thing if Javonte Williams didn't break a tackle to make it a 5-yard 4th and 5 and get him in what he perceived as field goal range. Man, And everyone in Dimmer, it's interesting though. I was so excited to listen to the radio in Dimmer, Chris, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna just annihilate this guy, and they kind of did for a day, and then slowly the narrative has already changed. And I guarantee you, if someone outside of Russell Wilson was quarterback, this would not be happening. But because you have a new quarterback, a shiny new quarterback, they're like, yeah, but let's look at all the things we did good. Like, oh, who fumbles twice at the 1 yard line? I'm like, one of those was on 4th down where I don't think he would have scored, so he would have turned the ball over. The other was on 3rd and goal, and he was not making it in with Javante's. So you maybe that took away 3 points, honestly, because of but it was terrible play calling. Don't get me wrong. But they're like, oh, that's the reason, and this and that. And I'm just like, they're like, every ball bounced Seattle's way. And I'm like, that's what losers say, Chris. That's what losers say.
I don't know if I go that route with my analysis, but
I mean, one of those drives that they fumbled at the goal line was after DK Metcalf got stripped, and it was only like a 35-yard drive. I think that ball bounced in the way of the Broncos to recover that fumble. You're right on the pass rush, though, Chris. It wasn't good enough. I mean, literally, Seattle was starting 2 rookie tackles.
Yeah,
both sides, their left and right tackle, rookies against Bradley Chubb and your shiny new Randy Gregory. It wasn't good enough with the pass rush.
No.
Seattle's a really bad football team.
No, they are. And this, again, I knew this was going to be a close game. I knew it was going to come down to the stretch. And I had told you this like a week before. It was, we talked about how this was their Super Bowl. They're going to be all out. I didn't like them on the spread, the Broncos on the spread. I thought it was going to be a close game. Should they have won this game? Probably. Did it not happen the way that anybody expected due to a lot of like death by inches? I mean, the Titanic didn't sink because it hit an iceberg. There was a lot of little things that contributed. How they did the riveting of the ship, how they constructed it, what they used, and everything else. There was a lot of things. I mean, was the hitting the iceberg, i.e. the field goal, part of what sank the rest of it? Sure. But there was a lot of little things all throughout that game that really just killed the Broncos. I want to give a shout out to Jim on Sports. Welcome you. Thanks for the raid. Jim, hope you had a great stream. Hope everything's going good with your brother. Chairman of the board. Let's see. Who else we have? Deco. Monumental stupidity decision to kick a field goal. Percentage of making 5 yards is higher at kicking 64-yarder. That's only been done like twice in the history of the game. Walt Disney couldn't have made a movie with better circumstances for Russ to have the ball in his hands at that moment. Hack job, says Cuban. Cuban, we all had the Vic Fangio. Like, we thought he was done. We thought, oh, we're good. We don't have Fangio. Clock management. Going into overtime or going into the fourth quarter with a bunch of timeouts and everything else, halftime. Well, that was a thing.
The biggest gripe, no doubt in my mind, with Fangio was his in-game management, whether it was clock management or whatever, just in-game management. So people were thrilled he was gone, and then all of a sudden you might be worse off. And I mean, Fangio didn't have a game this bad. Now, it doesn't mean that Hackett can't get better, and I'm not writing off Hackett. It was one game. He's going to learn from this, hopefully figured out, but what a awful first game to lose. I mean, against an awful football team on Monday night, a game you have no business losing. If you're even sniffing playoffs in a competitive AFC West, that's a huge loss, Chris. That's going to hurt them.
It's a huge loss if they wanted to win the division, which they weren't going to win in the first place. They weren't going to even if they won that game, they weren't going to.
I was talking more make the playoffs.
Well,
not to win the division. I think that's a huge loss to make the playoffs. Not that they can't, but
no, I think they still will be in the mix. Also, by the way, Asia said someone on Twitter counted 62 timeout motions.
It was. You said 22. It was 62. It wasn't the internet. It was like Peyton Manning's like own production company, Omaha Productions or something, that did it and put it together and counted. It was 62. And I was watching them. I didn't actually watch the Monday Night Football normal stream. I watched the Manning cast. I find them entertaining to an extent. I wish the only gripe about the Mannings is I think they want to be a little more honest during the games, and they can't be because they don't want to offend these teams and players and the NFL in general, where they have to stay a little bit more neutral than I know. I can see it in their eyes. Both of them just want to be like, that was
what the hell are you doing?
Awful. and they hold back a little bit, but they're still entertaining. And everyone's hyped about the Aikman and Buck on Monday night. I probably am different than most people. I think Buck is really, really solid. I think Aikman sucks. I hate Aikman.
Aikman's not
as
good,
a player,
man.
as a commentator. I think he sucks. I'm fine with Buck. I don't like Aikman.
There was another thing here. I think who was it? Jim on Sports had something here. He was like, Russ should have thrown the ball on the goal line. I.e., that written Malcolm Butler. Preseason doesn't get all the kinks out, as Atlanta still has a choking Kirk. Yep. Or kink.
And it's like you don't play people in the preseason because you're worried about injuries. And then the Broncos
and then this happens. Some
significant injuries. They're not ready to go. And then Justin Simmons gets hurt. He's on IR. Injuries are going to happen. If you try and shield yourself from all that, you're just setting yourself up for failure. It's a problem. It's a fact of the game. You hope it doesn't happen to you. You do everything you can, but you can't hide yourself from it.
Do you think the Packers would love to have a couple reps with the new receivers and Aaron Rodgers in that first game? Do you think the Rams might want to have some reps with Allen Robinson and getting on the same page with Stafford in that first game? Do you think the Broncos should have probably figured out some of the clock management, time management, and tough situations kind of stuff? Yeah, I think all those things are real that need to happen in preseason to get the kinks out. 100%. Manning Cash was funny watching them in the shotgun at the 1 yard line, says Milwaukee's.
Yeah.
Wilson wants to be the man to cook, then advocate and ask for the ball. Don't ride the bench in that situation, says Diacola. I'm in time for Chris Bayless rage, says STG. You made it. Have we talked about Zach Taylor not calling for that review, says Jim? Nope. We have not. Not yet.
STG, I knew Scotty was unique, but Buck? Oh, man. What's everyone's problem with Joe Buck? I think he's solid. Like, is he a little, like, structured and just by the book or whatever? But he does a good job. Aikman's a clown, in my opinion. Now, some G-Girl and others calling Chris Collinsworth sound so bad on Sunday Night Football. I was just like, oh, how did we not prepare? Someone get that man like a hot tea or something. Like, he sounded awful.
Football Wife's like, Chris Collinsworth sounded like Marge Simpson.
That's pretty accurate, actually. He sounded like a frog. All right, so he sounded like Pat Mahomes, guys.
Hey, welcome in, Bank Boy. Hey, Bank Boy, I forget who your team is. Remind me who your team is. I forget. Welcome in. Glad to have you back in. Chairman of the board, Buck is the Nickelback of broadcasters. Yeah.
We've been over this on our stream. Nickelback had a lot of hits. All right.
Nickelback is making a comeback. I
hope so. It was just one day everyone just decided, no, we're done with Nickelback. Where a month before that, they were singing every Nickelback song out there.
Haters. It's what it is. Kevin Harlan and Gus Johnson are the best commentators. Fight me.
Love both of them. I won't fight you on that. I mean, there's some other good ones too, but Harlan, I'll always love when he was commentating both on the Chiefs and Patriots Dolphins game a couple years ago. He's like, I'm calling both games. That's iconic. And Gus Johnson, the good news is if Gus Johnson's calling a game, like crazy shit's gonna happen, and he's gonna be there for it.
Yeah, that or Bill Walton. If you ever hear Bill Walton call a game, you're in for a treat. Whoever hasn't heard Bill Walton call a basketball game, just YouTube it. If I know he's doing a game, I don't care who's playing in that game. I actively go watch a Bill Walton game. Oh dear God, Bill Walton.
I don't know if I'm on that. Like, I'll watch it. I think you could watch Bill Walton in like short stints, but for a whole game, I'm like, all right, I'm over you, Bill. For like a little bit, I'm like, all right, you're kind of out of your mind and funny in that respect. G-Girl hates Joe Buck. Why can't you? What do you hate so strongly about Joe Buck, G-Girl?
It's just
Football Wife. I love Al Michaels. I mean, Al Michaels is iconic. He's been doing it forever and killing the game. He's awesome. Who's the crew? Tomorrow is Is it Michaels? Is Michaels with? I know it's Herb Street, who does has normally done college.
Yeah.
I know it's Herb Street tomorrow. Is it Michaels with him?
Maybe. I don't know.
If you guys know, let me know in the chat if you guys know. I know it's Herb Street. I think it might be Al Michaels now.
John Madden made Al Michaels even better in those days of Sunday Night Football. Rip John Madden. Yep. Also like Jim Nance. Jim Nance is solid.
Also iconic. I feel like people their first year with Tony Romo loved him, and now people are kind of like teetering on like, all right, he's kind of annoying now.
I never hopped off that bandwagon. I think he's fine.
I'm fine with him. I don't think I probably liked him more that first year than I do now, but I'm still fine with. I mean, Nance and Romo are the CBS league crew, and I'm fine with it. They do a lot of Chiefs games, so I get used to them.
So yeah, so there you have it. I mean, as far as that goes, it's in the past. We are on to week 2 now. I think we'll be fine in week 2. I think we'll be fine moving forward. There's a lot of backlash about this Bronco game. So, I mean, you can't not if you don't make any adjustments from here. Yeah, there's something absolutely wrong with you.
All I've heard recently is the Broncos are going to be fine. We're going to be fine. And I'm like, but these are also the same people that said there's no way in hell we're losing to Seattle. And then you did, but now you're like, we're fine. We're fine. Problem is, Chris, could you ever? You're in a division with the Chiefs and Chargers, who look pretty good right now. Could you ever imagine them, or especially the Chiefs, going to Seattle and losing that game? Hell no.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs are well coached, and they have the best coach, and they have the best quarterback. So
It's important.
It's important. Coaching matters, and he's the best coach in the division. You got coaching questions the most promising coach in San Diego, but he gambles too much. Gambling bites.
LA.
Or LA, yeah, it gambles too much. You have the new McDaniels regime in the Raiders organization, which we'll see. I have a lot of questions there. And then you have a brand new head coach here. So you have the best coach in the division, if not the whole NFL. That's a big chunk of it. So enjoy. I mean, I saw a meme that's like Andy Reid salivating. It was that meme of that guy hiding behind the tree like this, leaning over, like watching for Hackett to come down the pipeline. Like, I got to coach against this guy. Like,
this dude.
Look at this dude.
Andy Reid, they're talking about he's a W with food, barbecue, absolutely. Cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers are actually his favorite food, STG. You're right. His favorite food in the world is a cheeseburger. He said after they won the Super Bowl, he's like, how? And they're like, how are you going to celebrate? He's going, I'm going to go get a double cheeseburger.
I'm not going to Disney World. I'm not going to Disneyland. I'm going to get a cheeseburger.
And I can't hate on that. I respect that.
Next up, want to touch on this story. This is we're going to get away from football for a second because there was a big news story that dropped in the NBA, and that had to do with the Phoenix Suns. There was a big investigation into Robert Sarver, who was suspended and fined. He was suspended 1 whole year and fined $10 million after investigation found conduct clearly violated workplace standards. And this goes deep with, racist comments, sexist comments, misogynistic, all these different things. Now, this might bring back some memories of what happened previously with what's his name? I'm losing his name. The other owner that got a year.
Sterling.
Donald Sterling.
Not a year. He was
banned
outed.
for life. Banned for life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying that this wasn't enough. And I mean, it's such a weird situation. So David Stern. I am just living in the past now. Adam Silver came out and was like, he got questioned by a reporter like, hey, if this happened to me at my job, I'm fired. If this happens to anybody else, a coach in the league, they get fired. If this happens to so why is this owner held to a different standard? Why should he be able to keep his team? And Adam Silver did not have a good answer. He literally said, I don't have an answer for you, really. I don't have a good answer for you. And, that there's a lot of aspects that go into this. He owns the stadium and the land and like the properties and everything that you like. There's a lot that goes into it. Donald Sterling's wife was able to find a loophole that she was able to sell the team without him. That was a whole court case thing. That was like, they got through that. This is a little different, but this is a tough one, man. Like, this guy should not be an owner of a team. There's a lot of NBA owners that you have to have a vote for this, and there's a lot that goes into it. But still, like this, I mean, you on the face, you're like $10 million in a year suspension. That seems aggressive, but in the grand scheme of things, a lot of the people that were victims of this man were not happy about that, and it wasn't enough. Scotty, what did you think about this when it got handed down?
I guess in a way, I didn't see this going to we're kicking you out, we're forcing you to sell. Not that I think that's not warranted. I do. I wasn't surprised by this outcome. Let's just put it that way. Right or wrong, I wasn't surprised by it. As commissioner, you only have so much leeway, and you don't want to overextend on what you can do or whatever, the ultimate power. What I'm hoping, Chris, from this is that this man now realizes, like, all right, I have a Suns team that's better than it's been in a long, long time. I'm suspended for a year. This and everything that's come out might jeopardize our ability to sign free agents moving forward, this and that, to the point where he's like, now's the time to sell. Now, I don't know this man, obviously. Maybe he's just gonna dig in and he's like, no, I'm coming back with a vengeance. But my hope is he just sees the writing on the wall and it's kind of like, hey, buddy, no one wants you here. Okay, go ahead and sell this team. Sell high. Get a great price. Take your money. Whatever. Take your money, get it, and just leave. Just leave.
Seems to be
that's my hope. I don't know.
Seems to be a lot of this going on and a lot of ownership recently. There's a lot of things happening with owners recently, and it's not new. It's been happening. It's just starting to come to light now.
Yeah, this has been 18 years of this with this guy, and it's now, Adam Silver, it came to light to him in the last, obviously recently here, and he investigated it. It's been happening for far too long. There's no place for it, clearly and obviously. And hopefully times are changing and owners start to realize you can't just do what you want. Because unfortunately, there was kind of a time, Chris, where it was like money and power meant you could take advantage of situations, and that needs to stop.
Folks in the chat are making good points about how do the players handle this. That's an interesting point, considering Chris Paul is the president of the Players Association there, and he has he's going to have some things that he's going to need to talk about here very soon about all of this. He plays for the guy in Phoenix. It's kind of a big deal. So I'm curious to see what guys come out and say about this. And there was reports of other players around the league. Richard Jefferson on ESPN was like, I talked to guys that, I played with back in the day when I was still in the league that said, now in retrospect, when these things came out, that those guys are saying they're not surprised. This is like stuff that they were expecting a while back. Like nothing happened. Daniel Snyder can still own a team. This guy can't, unfortunately, says Reckoning.
I was going to say that, Rec. I'm like, honestly, you look at things with Daniel Snyder, and the fact that he still owns an NFL team is disappointing, probably beyond this for me. I think Dan Snyder is the worst owner in all of sports as far as how his leadership and what he's done in that franchise. And stuff seems to come out to light from the past, like every few months with Washington's franchise. So this is unfortunate. At least, he'll be suspended for a year. Hopefully he just sees the writing on the wall, like I said, and just buys out. Just sell, man.
Just get out.
Sell.
Get out, bruh. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into week 2. We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to kick things off with your boys. We got Chargers and Chiefs here.
Real quick. Yes, worst owner, Cuban. And don't throw Dinger into this.
It's a trap.
All right. I can't speak on that.
Roger.
But no, Cuban. What a great Thursday. This is like
Let's pivot from that.
Chris, maybe this is me as a Chiefs homer, but this is the best game of the week, right? This is the best matchup of the week.
This is the matchup I'm looking the most forward to. There's a lot of good matchups. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good matchups, but
There's definitely a few that I'm really looking forward to, but this is the best matchup of the week.
I agree. I think you're right on that one. You got Mahomes, who is the best quarterback in the league. You got the Chiefs, who had the most dominant week one, arguably. And you have an up-and-coming Charger team that has a lot of hype this year, Scott. There's a lot of people that have Herbert crowned as the guy that's going to, surpass Mahomes. The defense of the Chargers that's got really, really, really good. All of these factors are coming into play. There are people that have the Chargers number 2 in their power rankings preseason.
No. Oh, okay. I was like, not after week one.
No, not after week one. Preseason. So, we're going to go over the top, our favorite games of the week here. We have 8 games that we're going to preview. If you don't...
We actually have 9. I gave you a surprise there, Chris.
Ooh, a 9. All right, perfect.
We got 9er.
So,
9 games.
Guys, if we don't end up... So, Jim, no love to Jets Browns?
I mean, they're not in the 9. I don't know if you saw what games we're covering somehow, Jim, on sports. Somehow you knew we weren't covering the Jets and Browns tonight. But if you want us to talk about them, let us talk about that game. We can.
We will. We will if the masses want Browns Jets. We will talk about it.
Just a Flacco versus. Oh my gosh! I can't even think of the name of the freaking quarterback for the Browns right now.
Oh, Brissett.
Yeah, Flacco Brissett matchup. Who doesn't want to talk about that?
Jim on sports. He's like, nah, I'm good. All right, so I'm gonna let you break this one down, man. These are your boys. What do you see in this matchup? What do you like? Chiefs -4, by the way. That means they're favored to win this game by 4. Also, this game is 54.5 over under. So there's gonna be some points thrown around in this one. Chiefs put up 5 touchdowns, or Mahomes put up 5 touchdowns in that first one just by himself. So there's going to be some scoring. This is in Kansas City.
Giro already said over for days. Football wife. Thanks for gifting out the sub. STG, say thank you. Be polite with your but football wife, you are
thank you so much.
Always and continue. Wife. Just 110 gifted subs throughout the history of this channel. No big deal. Yeah, Chris, I'm excited for this game. I think this is 2 of the top 5 teams in football. No doubt about it. I think right now after week 1, I think it's pretty clear if you're ranking teams, there's 2 that have kind of separated themselves with the Bills and Chiefs, in my opinion. And then you have kind of the rest, but I think the Chargers are a top 5 team, and I would rank Herbert as probably the number 3 quarterback in the league right now. All of a sudden, like, I'm there. Like, he didn't play. He honestly, his only deficiency was he didn't play great down the stretch against the Raiders. They were up 24-10 early on in the third, and then after that, he had a 3-and-out, 18-yard drive with a missed field goal, 3-and-out, 18-yard drive with a missed field goal, and then a 3-and-out. So there was some inconsistency to his game, and especially against the Raiders defense that I'm not sold on by any belief, but they did win that game kind of more with defense, honestly. I thought their defense balled out against a Raiders team that's not easy to guard. This game's going to be fun, Chris. I mean, 2 times they played last year, the road team won. Early on, the Chargers went to Arrowhead and won, and then the Chiefs on a Thursday night game actually last year won in overtime in a game where they got the ball first, of course, and scored in overtime. So people have to change their rules now on that, at least in the playoffs. I mean, if the Chiefs play like they did last week, Chris, I don't know that the Chargers can touch him. I just don't know how repeatable that is. The Chiefs' offense was absolutely dynamite last week. 360 yards, 5 touchdowns for Mahomes. They punted the ball once when Mahomes was in. with one fumble along with that and scored touchdowns on every other drive except for they kicked a field goal at the end of the half. So, I mean, obviously, biggest win differential in week 1 was on the road at Arizona for the Chiefs. That's a big win. They look great. He's a man on a mission. Andy Reid even came out and said, like, Mahomes, last year was the first time, especially early on in the year when he was throwing picks, that he got a lot. He follows the media. He follows what people say. I'll say that. And that was the first time he got a lot of backlash and a lot of hate. And he was like, he took that to heart this offseason and he made himself a lot better. So an improved Mahomes. This game is just going to be a ton of fun, Chris. Do I think the Chiefs should win this game? I do. And they need to win this game. But this is an awesome game just for people to watch in general. Like, if you're fans of the sport, there's nothing better than watching these two teams. The 2 games last year were incredibly exciting. I don't expect anything less with this one. Great. As long as you guys can get it. Hopefully you have Amazon Prime. This is the first fully streaming game on Amazon Prime. Chris, I asked you, I was like, if we go to a sports bar, like, are they going to be able to have the game on because it's through Prime? And then I had to Google it, and I guess they signed a contract with DirecTV. So commercial use is still, if you have the DirecTV package through your bar or restaurant, you can still get the Thursday night game. They're just paying a lot of money for it. So
Rec doesn't have Prime, so I don't know how he's going to watch it.
Rec, go to a bar, I guess. You got to watch this one. This is, I mean, Thursday night games at times aren't great, but this one's incredible. I don't know. It'd be hard to debate that this isn't 2 top 5 teams right now.
Well, we looked ahead at all the games because we were figuring out which games we were going to be streaming, and there was, we're only going to be doing 3 or 4, a few over the season, right? So, with that being said, there weren't a lot of marquee matches. This might be one of the better Thursday night football games of the season, not much less the week. So overall, this is going to be a fun one to watch. Go find a way to watch it. My thoughts on this game. This started out, the look ahead from last week when the games ended, the Chiefs were favored by 3. This ballooned to 3.5 and then 4, and now it's, I think, currently at 4.5. But that was based off of the Cardinals getting blown out, and that was an easy win for the Chiefs. But that was also Chargers surviving a close one with the Raiders, right? So those lines, were kind of coming together all at the same time. Started out at 3 and ballooned to almost 4.5 right now. So at the moment, Keenan Allen's not going to play in this game. He's ruled out. So that's a huge aspect. The minute they lost him was, I thought, a point. I mean, and Herbert and the Chargers did spread the ball around quite a bit, but they lose a lot of that explosiveness when it comes to Keenan Allen and what he can bring to this offense. So I think that's going to be a huge, huge hit for them. I think they'll still be fine. I think they'll still put up points on the board without him, but I just think they lose a little bit of their yards per play. I think they fell back down to 5, average to 5 yards per play without him in the lineup once he went out, which still pretty good. But they're going to miss him quite a bit. I expect a lot of points in this game. I think there's going to be Herbert's going to move the ball, and I think that the Chargers will be in this game as well. In KC, though, I still love Kansas City to win this game. I didn't bet it, but Kansas City's my side here.
I didn't bet it. I usually go without emotion. And Chris, I won so much money on the Broncos game last night. I wish I'll tell you about that later. I had some parlays that hit. Everything hit.
Everything hit. There you go.
Or Monday night.
Cashing in. Let's see. What else do we have in the chat here? A
lot of Amazon talk. Football Wife keeps Amazon in business.
Yep.
I believe that, Football Wife. My wife does as well, though. I think there's a lot of wives out there that keep Amazon in business. We constantly have packages. I get them at the door, and I'm like, "What's this?" She's like, "I don't know." She doesn't even know what it is.
Isn't that weird? How
I have to open the box?
Isn't that weird
to know what it is?
My wife does the same thing. I'm like, "Hey, what did you order?" And she's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Did you order so many things that you don't know what it is?" That's I know what I order. I only order one thing on Amazon a month, maybe.
Chris, when I order anything online, I'm literally tracking the package online constantly. I'm like, when's it coming in?
Oh,
And I'm like following it, and then it gets in, and I'm like running to like the mailbox or the
it's
door
like
or wherever it
Christmas.
is.
It's
and I'm
like Christmas, and
for our wives, it's just like I don't know, open it.
oh
And I'm
my,
like, oh,
oh my
cool.
goodness.
It's soap, and I don't know.
She's like, yeah, and then you get the whole thing of, oh yeah, I remember I ordered that now, and I'm just like, what?
I have enough like body soap, Chris, to last me a lifetime. Like my wife ordered it in bulk. Like I have enough to literally. I there's no way I'm gonna die before all that's gone.
Jim, my wife
And we have
also
to store that,
my wife also keeps UPS in business with Amazon returns.
right?
Yes.
My wife does get a lot of clothes through it, and then like send it back. Me, if I get something, I'm not sending it. Chris, it's a fault probably, but I don't send anything back. I'm like, it's not worth the effort. I'll just wear it.
Yeah.
I'll just or whatever. It's a little tight, but I'll just people can just see that I'm fat underneath this shirt.
Cornhusker,
Like,
go!
whatever.
Welcome in, Cornhusker. Go Chiefs! Let's go.
Let's go, Cornhusker.
Y'all don't have hips, says G Girl. I mean, my hips.
Technically we do, but I get what you mean.
Yeah. There's nothing special there for us. All right. So next up, let's dive into Cardinals and Raiders. Cardinals and Raiders is next here, and so this one's going to be interesting as well. Obviously, Cardinals coming off a blowout with the Kansas City Chiefs, who we just spoke about. Now, This one, all right. Can I say something, Scotty? I think there's going to be a lot of overreactions from week one. I think that, this is typical every single year. People overreact over things. We saw Green Bay last year absolutely get demolished week one and come back and do well against their opponent week two. Now, there's a lot of teams that lost. The Rams lost. I mean, the Packers lost. The Broncos lost. The Colts tied. I mean, there's a lot of weird. The Niners lost. Does that mean all these teams are bad? No. I think the Cardinals is going to bounce back as well. Cardinals went up against a buzzsaw. The best quarterback, the best coach, and the best overall team, arguably, in football, which I think they are. And they just weren't ready to play a high-octane team like that. Now, I think that they will come back. I think that, that's a wake-up call for Mr. Kyler Murray, who got his payday over the offseason. He needs to come back, and I think the Cardinals wake up and they play better against the Raiders this week. So I think this line is a little bit high when it comes to the betting side of things. I think that, Las Vegas Raiders -5.5. I mean, this was at 6 at one point, dropped down to 5.5. Now I believe it's at 4 or something, 4.5, maybe. It's fallen a little bit more. So Cardinals are getting a little bit of backing on the Vegas side, on the betting side. But I do think the Cardinals keep this one close. I didn't want to bet the money line on this one by any means. I don't know if they win this game, but I think they keep it closer than 5.5.
Yeah. Listen, I can't get over. This is my favorite car picture, maybe my favorite picture of all time in the NFL, and I love
good.
that I picked it out for this one. He's so angry, it's so dark and mysterious. Guys, go to that Thanksgiving dinner and tell me what happens when you carve the turkey instead of him. And he's really upset about it. Kyler looks a little just like indifferent over there. He's like, I don't even have time to put eye black under both my eyes.
He's like, I've been playing too much COD. I've been too much Call of Duty.
I didn't even realize it. Did I not get eye black under both eyes? I had no idea. I thought I did, but I was playing a video game with one hand and I don't know what happened. But Carr is auditioning for WWE.
Undertaker, yeah.
Kneel before Zod. Jim on Sports says absolutely, like, it's my favorite picture ever. I actually think this was I believe, I could be mistaken, this was a Sunday night football game against the Chiefs where this photo was taken. So that also makes it like my favorite photo of all time. This game, I'm a little conflicted on it. I mean, the Cardinals, you're right, got dominated. I think this line should be closer to 4.5, but I don't see a huge difference between 4.5 and 5.5 because you're not crossing any key numbers there. So I'd stay away from this game myself. Do I think the Raiders are the better team? The Raiders lost the turnover battle last week 3-0. They turned it over 3 times. The Chargers didn't turn it over at all, and only lost by 5 to a great Chargers team. I don't know. I think the Cardinals just could be in for a really, really long season. I know they ran into the buzzsaw that is my Chiefs last week, but I think the Raiders win this game. Do they cover? Maybe, maybe not, because they're not explosive yet. They still haven't figured out how to. I mean, everyone's excited about this offense. They put up 19 points last week. So I don't see them hitting 30. And in that situation, if they're sitting even at I think the Cardinals could certainly get to 20. So I think I'd lean Cardinals on spread, but I think Vegas wins this game.
I agree. Cornhusker Action Lab game night win. Code yellow. I see the Raiders winning by a field goal, says G Girl. Okay, I like it. Raiders by 6. Yeah. So Squand has them covering. Welcome in, Squand. How you doing? Could be an interesting game. I think this will be I'll keep my eye on this one. This one's not like one of the worst games of the weekend, but I think this will be an interesting one.
It's a little less appealing after week 1.
Yeah.
Especially on the Cardinals side. The Raiders were. I mean, most people didn't think the Raiders were going to win last week, so.
Yeah.
And also the Cardinals, but they didn't know the Cardinals were going to lose by 100.
They lost in the playoffs by 100, and they lost their first game by 100. Also, I think G Girl said, "Wait until the new Call of Duty comes out," and then is there one coming out? Because if there is, that next week, I'm taking the other team. I don't care who they're playing.
There's also apparently Call of Duty has a 2 times multiplier weekend where his stats also go down on those weekends. So if there's a 2-time multiplier on points or whatever you get, I don't play Call of Duty. I don't know how that works, but
come on, man.
His stats also go down across the board during those. So it doesn't even have to be a new version of the game. He just needs to be able to have a double points weekend.
Double points weekend. Come on, man.
You're making millions and millions of dollars of football. You're worried about how good you are at Call of Duty.
There was actually
it's a weird thing.
Someone on TikTok actually was breaking down a couple plays of this last game about coverages and what to expect and making decisions at the line, and how he should have changed the play to get more protection during some of these. And these are guys that coach youth football that are these are things you teach your kids in middle school and high school, and he ended up getting sacked, massive loss on these plays. And I'm I don't know, I'm no expert in coverages or anything by any means, but these guys seem to know what they're talking about, and they teach their kids these things. It's a study thing, and obviously Kyler Murray, that's why they had that in his contract initially. You need to study, bro. Come on. That's my quarterback.
No, they removed it from the contract, so he, in fact, does not have to study, Chris.
It's my quarterback.
They pulled it after the backlash they got from being embarrassing, signing a guy to that much money who doesn't actually look at the playbook.
Come on, man. All right, next up, we got Bengals and Cowboys. Now, Cowboys, have they been on the phone this week? Have they trying to holler at some people, trying to get somebody in for quarterback? Because Dak Prescott's not going to be around for a minute. He's going to be gone with an injury. Football Wife's already scratching out those stars in the chat. Cincinnati, 7.5-point favorites here. Football Wife's Bengals are favored in this one in Dallas, and rightfully so, because they don't have a quarterback that's worth a damn right now. So at this point, you have Joe Burrow, you have all those wide receivers, you have that offensive line, which, looked there were some struggles with some turnovers in the first game with Burrow. I think some of those get corrected, but Bengals, 7.5-point favorites here, over under at 41.5. Scotty, this one seems to be pretty confidently in the Bengals side here. I don't see how the Cowboys, with the quarterback situation that they are currently in, can compete with a high-octane offense like the Cincinnati Bengals. Still 7.5 points. I don't know if I didn't bet this game. I didn't mess around with it. I just let it alone because who knows. But the Bengals should win this game.
Yeah, I didn't touch the line just because whatever. But I do have the Bengals in a teaser. One of my picks of the week. I was 0 for 2. I was 2 for 2 on my picks, on straight up picks, and 0 for 2 on my teasers. I'm getting a teaser in there again this week, Chris, and I have the Bengals minus 1.5, taking them down 6 points from 7.5. So they just need to cover 1.5 in this game against the Cowboys with Cooper Rush, who, and I say this with full sincerity, Cooper Rush is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in the NFL. Not just backups. Like, he's awful. He's always been awful. They don't have a backup quarterback. They didn't address it. They kind of did that one season with Andy Dalton, but that still didn't work out. He's so bad, Chris. He's so bad. And I just don't see, like, the only way the Cowboys hang here is they need to create a lot of turnovers, which they did better than any defense last year, but didn't do in week 1. But they have Parsons, they have Diggs, they have the capability. But the last time Diggs and Jamar Chase face each other in college, Chris, with Alabama and LSU, Jamar Chase had a heyday of a day. Like, he dominated Diggs. Listen, I hope this can be a competitive game. I don't expect it to be overly competitive. I think the Bengals bounce back if they don't turn the ball over. Now, the one thing about the Bengals is you have Micah Parsons, in my mind, might be the best pass rusher right now in the NFL against an offensive line in the Bengals that we all said, like, they did things to change their offensive line. And week 1 didn't look better, Chris. Didn't look better at all. Might have been worse. Now, maybe, it's just 1 week. There's time, football wife. Don't panic. I'm sure you're not. There's time for this continuity, and these guys have done it before, but it was bad week 1 against that Steelers defense. So that's the big concern. Cowboys are gonna literally, if Cincy does not turn over the ball, they cover this spread.
It's easy, yeah. And a couple things. Cooper Rush is horrible. So a couple of people are like 41.5. Double Doc says over under. Wow. I mean, honestly, I question whether or not the Cowboys will be able to score anything.
Yeah, I like the under. I should have bet the under. I love the under in the Cowboys Bucks game, which would have hit regardless on Dak getting that injury. I mean, there was 1 touchdown scored in that game. So
Cooper Rush can't be worse than Jordan Love, says Milwaukee's.
Jordan Love is way better than Cooper Rush. Actually, 10 times better. Milwaukee, that's your dude. Like,
that's your guy. That's your quarterback.
Did you see, like, Aaron Rodgers was in this weird interview with, like, I don't know if it was a Barstool guy or whatever, but they were like,
I saw that interview too.
Explain to me what insurance is. That's just like protecting yourself in case something happens. And he's like, or they're basically like, Aaron Rodgers, do you have insurance? He's like, yeah, I have State Farm. Obviously, he's a sponsor and markets for him. And they're like, oh, so insurance is kind of like picking a quarterback in the first round to protect yourself in case injury happens. It was awesome.
Those Barstool interviews with Aaron Rodgers are like gold. They're money. It's so good. So yeah, I love it. So here we go. Panic, Cincinnati panic, says Jim on Sports. Ooh, okay. Not in this game.
Joey B throwing the Watt a few times didn't help. Yeah, no, it was not. And obviously, Joey B had the whole issue with his what was it? Pancreas? What was it? What? It was something in his abdomen area.
Yeah. So one of those organs.
He was out for a lot of preseason.
Appendix.
Do a lot. Appendix. That makes a lot more sense than pancreas. I'm so dumb.
It's like your gallbladder. You could have said anything.
What was it? His stomach, his large intestine. They removed that. No. So appendix. So he didn't have a lot of practice time. Maybe this will help him out. But yeah, the Cowboys all of a sudden are like, it'd be shocking with Dak being out this long if they're not going to make the playoffs, Chris. They're not.
No, and my pick of them making the playoffs over the Saints is looking worse and worse.
Yeah, the Saints aren't making it either.
I mean,
although I like the Saints this week because they're playing Tampa.
I do like them too. Let's go ahead. Let's move on. We got my Broncos against the Texans. Now, this game, It's at you have it at 10. It was at 9.5 this morning when I put in my bet, and I don't know if it crept back up to 10 when you created these or not. But
I always saw it at 10, Chris. I think you're cheating. No,
and
I'm just kidding.
every time I see this graphic of Davis Mills, I'm like, that's got to be photoshopped. Like, is that photoshopped?
It's not.
That is his actual picture. Like, it's so strange. I'm just like, that can't be a real picture.
He'd actually, with that, with a normal size neck, he'd be 5'10", but instead he's like 6'4".
I mean, if his neck was the spread, it would be a 15-point spread at this point. It would be massive.
At least they have a quarterback that can see over the line, Chris, with that neck.
He can see over the line because he's a giraffe. Because he doesn't even need to like peek. He just like is automatically up there.
If I was a D lineman, I would just hold up like some like leaves or whatever, and he might start eating them as he's dropping back. I don't know.
How's the weather up there? Says Rec. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Take Houston on the spread, Mayday. I'm going to do the opposite. Welcome in, Mayday. I think the Broncos do. I think they cover this spread here. I have it. I got it at 9.5. So I like the Broncos here. I think this is a week where a lot of teams bounce back, and the Broncos had a lot that was just wrong in week 1. A lot of coaching errors. A lot of everything happened in week 1. Now, with that being said, they left 2 touchdowns on the field, right? They goal line. If they punch those in, that game doesn't even come down to any last minute field goals.
Ifs and buts, but sure.
Sure, but yeah, no, like, you look back at those plays, you fix them, you correct them, you get better. They're at home. This is Russell Wilson's home debut. The Broncos' home field advantage is going to be in play here. We have a great home field here in Denver. I think that's going to play a big part. I still, even with the Texans doing what they did week 1, tying, right? I think that they're fine, but I don't think that they have enough here. I think the Broncos roll in this one. I think they roll big. I have them to win this game by at least 10. I mean, I feel like this is a coverable game, and I think they win this game just fine.
Oh, Football Wife makes a good point. Can you imagine that neck with Peyton Manning's forehead? I mean, that would actually... Then we'd start to talk about alien life form being present here on Earth, Chris. I mean, that's not human.
If we
that neck with Peyton's 5 head, I mean, come on. Come on. That would... Oh, my goodness. That's disturbing to think about.
No. Can you take the attributes of like some of the most famous players that have like weird things going on? You got the forehead, you got the neck here.
Mahomes' voice.
Oh no.
I mean, then we know it's an alien. Like, there's zero doubt at that point that we're like, all right, what planet are you from?
Come on, man.
All right. Where did you come from, and did you abduct anyone?
And then
on your way here,
the eyeshadow stuff for Carr, throw that in there too. Oh, you can make a hell of a weird looking player with like that whole. Oh, it's great.
I don't know, your head coach's brain, Nathaniel Hackett's brain. You'd be like, that dude doesn't know how Earth works, so he's clearly an alien. Certainly doesn't know the game of football, Chris. I wanted to feature. I did that just for you. I picked a picture out of Nathaniel Hackett to feature with the Broncos this week.
I figured. Texans, you're going to beating the Broncos by 24. No shot. Not by 24. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen by like a little bit. But Mike Glennon says Money Magic. Peyton Manning was hurting his day of birth, says G Girl. Matt Castle, Tomlin's bullfrog eyes.
That was Sam Castle, Chris.
Oh,
Sam Castle. I'm sorry. Sam Cassell. The former basketball player.
Yeah. Love
who
Sam.
Was alien-like. No doubt about it.
It's called cosplay, gentlemen. Yeah. So
is that cosplay? I've always said it's cosplay. Is it, how do you pronounce that? Someone help me. I don't even know. I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb.
Texans will win, taking the Broncos down 3. No shot. So
cosplay. Got it. That sounds weird though. I don't even like saying that out loud.
So Scotty.
Cosplay?
I'm dead.
That sounds stupid.
What do you got on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the Broncos are going to come out wanting to prove the world wrong after that embarrassing Monday night defeat. But it is a short week for them. You have a Houston team that played pretty well for 3 quarters in their opening week against the Colts before being a dumpster fire in the 4th quarter.
Yep.
I think personally this Texans team is a little better than what people thought. Now, that doesn't make them good. They're still a bottom 6 or 7 team in the league, probably, putting it generously. But should the Broncos win this game? Yes. Do they cover 10? There's an interesting stat that I've known in prior years, Chris, where the Broncos at home in the first few weeks of the year dominate and cover based off of the adjustment to altitude, especially early on in the year where the road players especially aren't in as good of shape, where they're just not prepared for the altitude and the adjustment that entails. So the Broncos in like weeks 1 through 3 historically at home cover, not only win, but also cover at a very high clip. That's why I don't have a great feeling on this game. At 9.5, I still wouldn't bet it, but I like it a lot more at 9.5 than I do 10. I don't know. I think the Broncos should win this game, need to win this game. They must win. Like,
if they lose this game,
I will be
if they
on the
lose
floor
this game,
laughing.
I don't know what I will do.
I will be laughing. It like almost more than a Chiefs win. Almost more than a Chiefs win tomorrow. Like a Broncos loss would almost be better.
If they lose this game, I'm not even gonna say anything crazy because
you know how I want them to win this game, Chris. I want to win this game when they're like down. I don't know. Let's say 1 point late, Chris, and they bring out McManus for a 64-yard field goal, and he makes it. How funny would that be? Let's do that. Let's role play. Let's cosplay. Is that the right term? Am I using that right?
Cosplay.
I'm still mad that it's cosplay. It should be cosplay. Okay.
Chairman says, I want them to win with a 64-yard field goal. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Roger.
How perfect would that be? And then all the haters can stop hating on your genius football coach who elected to make the right choice and kick a 64-yarder.
Oh my goodness. G Girl's dying over here. I hope you guys enjoy all of our crazy just shit that we do on this show. I predict another 2020 ties so that we have an 0-2 Houston team.
If the Broncos lose, you must shave the left half of the beard and come to stream with half the beard.
If they lose? Okay.
That's talking about you, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Cosplay.
I still think it's cosplay. Even the guy that reads bits off doesn't get it. Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
I'm very phonetically accurate, Chris. And that does not say cosplay. Okay, not even close.
Chairman, come on, man. If Houston loses, it will take Mills 3 days to swallow his pride. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh my goodness.
It's a deep swallow there, though. All right.
Let's move on.
Let's get to another game, Chris.
Come on. Football wife. And if KC loses, Scotty has to.
Well, we're playing a great football team. Okay, football wife. But throw something out there. Maybe I'll agree to it. I don't know.
Breaking news. Hackett just tried to call another timeout.
All right, we're gonna take a break. Hackett called the timeout. It's meaningless. We moved on to the next game. That game was already over. But Hackett, that's when he likes to use his timeouts. 62 of them. If you're Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning is still calling for timeouts, and Hackett is still executing with the referee on the field. Can I still get a timeout right now? Right, like it's 2 days after the game, but I still want that timeout. Let's go.
So Chris, I'm gonna sound even dumber right here, and I think I didn't want to say it earlier because I'm gonna embarrass myself even more. But I'm so far removed from this world. Cosplay, okay? Is that where you just like dress up as like a character?
Yeah, it's dressing up as a character for like when you go to Comic-Con or something, and you dress up as like Wolverine or your favorite Marvel characters or your favorite comic book or your favorite cartoon. It's
G-Girl. You guys should cosplay with the coaches, LOL. Last year for Halloween, I dressed up as Urban Meyer, Chris.
You did.
Remember that?
You did.
So I cosplayed. I'm going to say cosplay. I cosplayed Urban Meyer last year for Halloween. Yeah.
That's right. Oh,
I sure
Lord.
did.
Fun fact.
I sure did.
Oh, Reckoning, this dates you. Fun fact. First stream I was on was Scotty cosplaying as Urban Meyer. There you go.
Yeah,
the rest is history. We somehow kept Reckoning in to be our moderator after that stream. We must have really hooked
he
him
agreed
in.
to do it after that stream, and we're like, we'll take. No, I'm just kidding, Rec. You're great.
Slap Scotty.
How Scotty got away with that and not get in trouble is beyond me. Get in trouble, guys. I was cosplaying. Okay, it was for fun. I had a Jaguars logo. I had a headset. What did I have? Did I have like a? I felt like I had like a female like on my shoulder.
You had a Barbie doll dancing.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's so inappropriate.
Oh, it was so inappropriate.
So great.
Oh my goodness, that's where we're at. All right, so Dolphins Ravens, by the way. Dolphins Ravens.
Is there more football action?
There's more football action, yeah. And we have a matchup here with Lamar Jackson and your boy Tyreek Hill, who's been doing a lot of chattering. Obviously, the Miami Dolphins got a nice win against the New England Patriots on week 1. The Ravens had a nice cakewalk on that first week as well. So both teams won week 1. Obviously, Ravens lost Kyle Fuller and Juwan James, though. They're kind of dealing with some things over there. The Ravens have been plagued with early season injuries last year and this year. So, obviously the Ravens are still a better team than, a lot of the other teams in the AFC. But, hey, thank you so much for Football Wife gifting out a sub to Broncos. There you go. Thank you, Football Wife, for the support. Guys, hey, if you guys are chilling around, having a good time, and you want to, link up your Amazon Prime, you can help Football Wife out and join in on some of the sub action. Let's go.
Broncos, by the way, reached out to me in Discord recently, or just earlier before the show. Broncos, I got you for sure. I'll send you. I'll send you that probably tomorrow.
All right. So here's the thing.
That was discreet, but no big deal.
Very. You guys got deals going on the side.
Side deals with Broncos.
So
he wants to change his name to the Chiefs.
No, don't do it, Broncos. Don't ever do anything like that.
Deal.
So I have the Ravens here. -3.5 is the line, and 44.5 is the over/under on the total points between these two teams. I like the Ravens in this one in Baltimore, even given some of the issues with there's some injury issues, and I get that. Dolphins have a revamped offense. I just think that this is going to be a close game. I didn't bet this one because I don't know. This is a weird one for me, and I think it's a fascinating one for me. If I'm leaning anything, I'm leaning Ravens at home, but I don't feel great about it.
Chris, I bet this one, right?
You have the over/under, I believe.
I got the under. Yeah. I was between a few games on this one. I think I was just making sure before talking about it here, guys. I like the under here a lot. I don't think either of these offenses are. I think everyone looks at the Dolphins as like the sexy new offense, but they didn't exactly tear it up last week against a New England defense that I'm not sure is historically like other New England defenses. They're aging, they're older, they're slow, they're not that talented. And one of their touchdowns was on like a 4th down play that Waddle caught and then broke for a touchdown. Baltimore, I know the final score was like 24-9 or whatever it was in week 1 against the Jets, who were starting Joe Flacco. But you actually look at that game and the stats, and it's kind of like, I mean, Baltimore put up 274 yards in that game. The Jets put up 380, Chris. Like, the Jets were probably the better team. They were just the dumber team. Baltimore's offense looked awful against a Jets defense that's not good at all. I think Baltimore's very very overrated at this point.
Do you think the contract has anything to do with some of the play by Lamar Jackson? Do you think that's on his mind?
Well, if anything, that should make him be more focused and
You
play
would
better.
think.
If you're in the final year of your contract, you want to ball out in order to get paid that next offseason, and he did not ball out, in my estimation, in week 1. They had the first downs were 24-13. Jets had 24 first downs. The Baltimore Ravens had 13 first downs in that game, Chris. I know you look at the score and you're like, okay. I also like Miami against the line, 3.5. I definitely also want to take Miami. I'm just not totally sold on Miami's offense, and that's why I stayed away from it. And that's why I'm taking the under in this one. I think this literally finishes a lot closer to like 37 total points, like a 2017 game, something like that. I don't think either of these offenses move the ball a lot. I think it's a pretty boring game to watch. I'm super intrigued, and I think this is a matchup of two teams potentially battling in the playoffs in the AFC. So I think it's a fun matchup in that regard. I just don't think it's going to be high scoring, Chris.
Hey, Old Man Burger, how we doing? Good evening. Hope you're having a fantastic week so far. Hey, guys, we have people popping in and out all night long. Hope you guys are having a good time with the stream. If you are, hit that follow button again. If you're new to the show, my name is Chris. This is Scott. We are your host for the Action Lab, live every Wednesday and Sunday night for Sunday Night Football. So make sure you join in. Hit that follow button.
Chris, sorry.
Go ahead.
We're down to one mod. Devil Doc's our only mod. Reckoning said I'm close to cosplaying Andy Reid at this point. I think it was my facial hair. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on, but Reckoning is officially removed as a mod from this point forward. It was a good run, Rec. Thanks a lot for all you've done, but how dare you?
Oh, no.
How dare you?
Oh, man. There it is. Well, it was nice knowing you, Rec. We missed you. We love you. Dobbins is almost ready to play. I hope. Well, I mean, he was limping going into week 1. I don't know if he's ready. I was looking at that too, and
it'll take, even when he's ready, it'll take time. He's not going to be anything special. All right. The first week he's back, he destroyed that leg. Like, it's come out like he ACL, LCL, MCL, like torn like muscle. Like, there was so many things that happened to that leg. He's not going to be, but you like cheeseburgers, Rec? Devil Doc, can you ban Rec?
No,
I'm just kidding. Don't ban him.
Don't ban him. We love you, Rec. So anyways, all right, on to this one. This is all right, so we talked about the Chiefs and the Chargers being one of the better matchups this weekend. This one's a fascinating matchup. I can't wait for this one. A Monday nighter here. Vikings at Eagles, both teams with very high expectations. The Eagles projected to win. A lot of people have the Eagles winning that division, especially with the Cowboys kind of falling off, with being the only challengers that we thought were going to be in that division. The Minnesota Vikings is who we had winning their division. Both teams very explosive offensive weapons, and both teams with, some up and coming defenses with it, think that they can, perform at a high level this year. Over under 50.5. I think this game is just an interesting one from the fact that the over under just screams out to me. Like, if this one, I could see a lot of points in this one based off of the offensive weapons. I think what gives me more lean towards the over in this one is the Eagles gave up a lot of points to the Lions. A lot. And this offense is better than the Lions. So with that being said, I see a back and forth game. I see a lot of points going up on the board. I think that the Vikings will need to get some pass rush going on Jalen Hurts. And I think Hurts is mobile enough to kind of evade some of those too. I think he is able to put some points on the board. I can't wait for this one, man. I think this is going to be a fun one. Vikings in the under. So the weird thing with this one is if this creeps up, if people start betting a lot on the over this one, obviously it's going to go to 51.5, 52.5, whatever, 52 maybe. I think it could close around 52. At that point, maybe the under looks a little bit better. I think maybe these defenses can hold each other a little bit more, but I don't know, man. This is I didn't bet this one on any front. just because I think I just want to watch this one and be entertained and not have any dog in the fight. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. This is my second favorite game of the weekend. This is a Monday nighter, right? There's two Monday night
games. This is one of them,
which is bizarre. Like normally they start week 1 with 2 Monday nighters. This year they do it week 2. I don't know the reasoning behind that. I think it opens up. We'll get into the Bills-Titans game here briefly, and this one starts like only an hour and a half later. So both games will be, for a good portion on at the same time. So you got to pick and choose, Chris. This one I think is going to be a ton of fun. I'm excited to see that these are two of the up and coming teams. We both love these teams coming into the season. Yep. They both obviously got a big wins in week 1. I know the Eagles, only ended up winning by 3, but they were up a lot more, for a lot of that game before Detroit came back. The Vikings looked phenomenal against that Packers team. So I'm excited for this one. Do I have a strong feeling? I lean Vikings. Give me the points with a Vikings team that on a neutral, I think is probably a little better right now than the Eagles. But then you have Primetime Kirk. I can't bet on Primetime Kirk. Primetime Kirk is a dumpster fire at times. Kirk Cousins, that is, doesn't always show up in primetime.
I think that changes this year. I think that,
he was 0-7, and then he's won his last 2. So he's now 2-7, which is still not good, but he is on a 2-game winning streak after losing his first 7. So I agree. I think the Vikings are the better team. You're right. I wanted to enjoy this game. I didn't want to have a dog in the race. I'm high on both these teams moving forward. I think the Eagles have more room to improve, but I think the Vikings right now are the better team. So I'd lean Vikings.
Yeah, I love both these teams. I think they're very dynamic in a lot of ways. There was another stat that I saw too, as far as this is the first time Kirk Cousins has had a team where they didn't allow more than 7 points or something along those lines, like minimal points. The defense helped him out enough. And if that defense can help him out all season long, that's something he's not used to having in his career. It doesn't happen very often for him. So this could be a big year for them. We already predicted it. I can't wait to see how this ends up panning out. But come on, Daddy Cousins, says G Girl. 24.
That's your daddy?
24-27 would be the over, 50.5. So no brainer for me, says Money Magic.
Yeah, Money Magic liked the over, and Squan followed with the under. I would probably lean over here.
I would lean over at this point. If it goes up a couple points, I think I switch I switch to the under. It's just yeah. I can't find the Halloween clip, says G Girl.
I don't know if we go that far back. I don't know if we made a clip of it.
We might not have. It
might be gone forever. But it occurred.
Merciless is eating his popcorn. Broncos offensive play caller. The Chiefs definitely understands what kind of QB they have. Should be great game tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, we have good coaching.
By the way, guys, for all of you guys that are local, would you be? Maybe we could get a poll in the chat for anyone. I guess this is a very maybe I just put it in the Discord. Never mind. We might try to do something local here in Colorado and go watch the game somewhere. We don't know, but if you guys would be interested in that, hit us up in the Discord. How about that? And we'll try to figure out a spot. Maybe Scotty and I can meet up and we could watch that game. So. Yep. Yeah.
And apparently G-Girl has a ton of daddies, according to Devil Doc.
Oh.
Which G-Girl then confirmed.
I see. Huh. Interesting.
Good for you. Dads are great.
Dads
are the best.
I have a sweet dad. You have a pretty cool dad.
I'm a pretty cool dad.
You're a pretty cool dad. Yeah. Happy Father's
Day is a confusing day for her. That's okay. Mahomes is everyone else's daddy, not mine.
Oh man, here we go.
Everyone else's daddy.
Next up on the docket here, we got the Patriots and the Steelers. Patriots obviously didn't look too well against the Dolphins, who we already talked about. Steelers ended up looking good. With all being said, they ended up winning that first game. Crazy shootout with. Go ahead.
I'm gonna code yellow while you
spam code yellow in the chat. for Scotty A. Smith while he goes and takes care of business. But the Steelers, this is an interesting one in the sense that New England's coming off that loss. The Steelers coming off that win. I think that this one's going to be interesting in the fact that this one will miss Watt. I think TJ is going to be out, right? We're gonna miss him. That's a big blow. I think that's a big part of their. I mean, the Steelers are always good. Like, they're always baseline good, and you couldn't find one New England player, so you picture the coach. That's because there's nobody on that team that just is exciting enough to put here outside of Darth Vader here. So realistically, that's what we went with. That's what Scotty put in here. So, Scotty knows what's up. So that's the storyline here. But I think the Steelers have a couple injuries that they're battling through, which is why I think this line is as close as it is. Otherwise, if there's no major issues with the injuries, I think that this Steelers in Pittsburgh are the favorites in this one. But Patriots, let me throw this stat out there too. The Patriots under Bill Belichick have not started the season 0-2 since 2001. They won the Super Bowl that year, by the way, which they won't do this year. But Bill Belichick doesn't start 0-2 very often, if not ever. So I think that there will be a little bit of a bounce back here. And, I think the Patriots will keep this one close. The Steelers, again, I think they lose a couple points for me with the season-ending injury to TJ. So yeah,
not season-ending, but out for a while.
So it's going to be. I just mentioned the stat of Bill Belichick hasn't gone 0-2 since 2001 to start the season. So I think
are they talking about my room or whose room?
What are we talking about?
G-Girl and Football Wife are talking about decorating a room.
You mean that
lovely one picture
that lone
that's usually
picture
covered by my giant head? Guys, I have a lot of things I could put up there, but then I'd have to take them down every time. Okay, it'd be exhausting.
Maybe we just get
the focus should be my face. Okay,
come on, man. Should we just get a studio? We need to just do we make enough money on this show to get a studio?
No.
Come on, man.
No, we don't.
Come on,
no, we don't, Chris.
Come on. Yeah. So
I get it, guys. All right, but just focus here. Okay. Reckoning's like, no, it should not. Rec, I'm about to dive into this game, and it's not going to be pretty. Okay.
I lean Patriots if I'm going to bet this one based off of just the uncertainties, but
bruh. Look at this dude.
Yes.
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice.
Say something nice about Nathaniel Hackett. It can only go up from here. That's what I'll say nice about Nathaniel Hackett. It can only get better.
He knows the rap game pretty well, from what I've heard.
By the way, the sound effect really helps to figure out what we need to say, positive versus negative on that. So, yeah.
I didn't even know we had that sound effect.
I added it last week, so we have the negative and positive sound effect now for the.
Wait, am I naked, Football Wife? Wearing clothes? No, I double checked.
Bruh.
I got clothes on.
So dive into Patriots Steelers.
Yeah, I'd rather. I mean, not this, Chris. If there was ever a game that I could that no one needed to air, this would be it. This is going to be an awful football game to watch.
Reckoning and Devil Doctor,
except for those guys that are like, oh, we like hardcore defense. No, this is not hardcore defense. This is shitty offense. Okay, the Steelers won a game in which they won the turnover battle by 5 in overtime because the Bengals didn't have a long snapper. Okay. No offense, Rack. You gotta win, and I'm happy you did because, the Steelers are not a threat. Their offense is so bad, and the Patriots might be worse. The Patriots scored 1 touchdown, and their touchdown came on a drive where they got a 4th down penalty on, which was a bullshit call. The Patriots should have been shut out last week. Chris, you questioned me. I drafted Miami off the top for my fantasy league, and you question, you're like, oh, I don't know about that. That Miami pick's weird. I'm like, they're playing the Patriots. Who was right? Who was right?
Yeah.
I was.
Well,
Patriots offense sucks. This game is the first to 10, Chris. This is a battle of who gets to double digits first. Okay? No one wants to watch this game. It's going to be an abomination to the league. They shouldn't televise it. Honestly, this is the least attractive game in the league this year. Or I said this year, I meant this week, but possibly the whole season, Chris. No one wants to watch it. And then they pan to the sideline and we got to see that guy's face. Okay? I don't want to see Belichick's face.
I'm crying at some of these things. What casually average? What is Minka Fitzpatrick swallowing in that photo? I'm very concerned right now. And then, why are you looking at his mouth? Says Devil Doc. The beard long enough to dye orange and blue on a bet? Maybe eventually.
I'm not doing that. I will not agree to a bet to dye orange.
So mean.
Don't say anything at all about Bill Belichick. He is. So we got to say something bad about Bill Belichick. So mean.
I already did. I hit his face.
I want him out of the league. Is what I want. Like he won't make another. I'm diving in on that hot take. He's not going to make the playoffs again into the rest of his career. He's done.
I mean, he's the supposed smartest coach in the league and a genius is letting Matt Patricia call offensive plays. Now we have to reboot everything. We got to question whether Belichick knows what the fuck he's doing at any moment because he's allowing Matt Patricia, and I'll say this again, to call offensive plays. Okay? He was only a defensive coordinator before joining the Lions, a dumpster fire head coach of the Lions, and now he's going back and calling offense?
It's only a game.
I have to be mad right now, Squan, because I hate his face and I hate his overrated person. Joe Judge is just as bad. Joe Judge and Matt Patricia are both back on the Patriots, and that's also why they suck and why Bill Belichick sucks. Fired up.
Scotty's like, hey, my eyes are up here, by the way. There's Broncos. Because I pay attention when someone looks like they're shouting at me. That or eating something purple, says Casually Average. Yeah, Joe Judge. Hashtag Lockjaw. Hot take. All right, so yeah, there we go. Patriots Steelers. Probably not one of the more
worst game ever. I also think it's a weird line, which is why I think New England probably wins this game. It's because the line's so weird after how bad the Patriots looked in week 1.
Yeah. And with the injury news too. Like there's a lot of weird things going on with this. I didn't mess around with this one.
G girl, his pants look nice. This is no longer a G-rated show, apparently.
All right, we're changing the show. Now we're G-rated. We're Disney style here with this old man from Tampa Bay. All right. You want to talk about some interesting game? You want to talk about an interesting matchup that has been owned by one side, and that is the Saints? It's the Saints-Buccaneers matchup. Dating back last 4 years. So Tom Brady hasn't been able to beat the Saints at all. Did
in the postseason, to be fair.
In the postseason once. But like regular season-wise, not a lot of success here. So this is a terrible matchup. Bucs have committed 36 turnovers over the last 2 seasons. 11 of them were to the Saints. It's just, they just don't play well. A little less than a third of those turnovers are to one team. That was a top-notch offense, right? When it came to, when they were last year, they had a lot going on with them. Now they're inferior offensive. They don't have offensive line issues. They do have offensive line issues a little bit more than they're used to. They're down Godwin. Their D didn't play as they're fine. I just don't know if they're going to be able to continue that to this week. Jarvis Landry looks like a new man. There's a lot of offensive weapons in New Orleans. I just think that this one again is this is 2.5 favorite at New Orleans for the Buccaneers. The Saints own the Buccaneers, and the Saints were doing this with like a tight end at quarterback. Scotty, they beat the
Jameis could probably line up at tight end. Don't ask him to block, but he's big enough.
Like, is that a real pick of Brady? Wow, yeah, this is a real pick. This was taken yesterday. Yesterday at practice, this was taken.
That is him. He did not practice today. Although I'm going to get into the injury report actually in a second for the Bucs, Chris. Super interesting.
Chad, unstoppable. Welcome in. First time. Let's welcome in Chad. Hey, Chad, who's your team and where are you from? We'd like to get to know you a little bit. Welcome. I wonder why there are 2 Monday games on next
I
week.
asked that question.
We said that earlier. Yeah,
we're usually week 1. Why they did week 2 this year, I honestly don't know. All I know is I did hear today Buffalo's in the early game. It's a home game, so they're letting out students at like 10 a.m. from their school in Buffalo near the stadium. And they say it's because of traffic issues, but really they just care more about their football team than education out there, which I'm all in on. I fully support. Chris, Bucs injury report today. QB, Tom Brady, did not participate, not injury related, but kind of injury related. He's just trying to mend a marriage, Chris. Things are not great with Giselle. Giselle's not happy that he's playing this season. She feels like she sacrificed a lot of her life, and Tom hasn't done the same. Wide receiver Mike Evans, calf, limited participant. Leonard Fournette, hamstring, limited participant. Russell Gage, hamstring, did not participate. Chris Godwin, hamstring, did not participate. Julio Jones, knee, did not participate. Zion McCollum, hamstring, did not participate. Brashad Perriman, knee, limited participant. Left tackle Donovan Smith, elbow, did not participate. Right tackle Tristan Wirth, abdomen, limited participant. This is week 2, Chris. This team is a mess.
It's week 2.
They're a mess.
Oh,
no. Tom isn't even allowed to be around the team because his wife's yelling at him at home. And then you have all these guys getting hurt, and you're going into this matchup against a team that kind of has owned you, even when you're much better than them altogether. I think the Saints win this again. I think the Saints beat the Bucs again. The Buccaneers are a dumpster fire right now a little bit. Like, everyone's saying the Bucs like look good. I know they held the Cowboys to 3, but like, I don't know. I think I could have put together you and I and like some of our followers, Chris. We might have held the Cowboys to 3 on Sunday night. I know the Bucs are highly thought of. I just think right now they're not there. At the end of the season, I'm sure they'll be in the mix. I get that, but right now I just don't see it. I think the Saints win this game. I think Jameis Winston feels some pain. Did you see that interview? They're like, what's the pain? He's like, yeah, pain everywhere. But and Michael Thomas is just there, just like nodding, like, fuck.
Jameis Winston has the weirdest press conference. Did you see the one where he was like, "Oh, our bodies are symmetrical. Like my shoulders are like knee, or like my elbows are like my knees, and my shoulders are like my hips, and." That's how, our bodies are with symmetrical.
Is he cosplaying with his knees and elbows?
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to call it cosplaying.
And then he's Chris. Like, my hands are like opposite of my feet. Like, he's like, our bodies. Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? This is like, and he has that one last year where, he has some weird, he does it on purpose, but I'm just like, I like it, but it's like such a strange thing. And I mean, I like it. I'm here for it, but
Cuban, when your leader is going through it, the whole team has blue balls. Yeah. I don't even know if Brady at this age, look at that photo, his balls even work anymore. But it's a weird, we've never seen this with like a quarterback that's like, I can't be around that much because my wife is yelling at me a lot. To be home more.
No, here. So I want to play this clip real quick, and you won't be able to hear this, Scotty, but it's a Jameis Winston thing where he's like anatomy lesson from Jameis Winston. Go ahead and let's listen to this real quick.
I learned so much about my body when I had the ACL, just the importance of other parts of your body being overcompensated because you're overusing something else. So just a holistic body, everything about your body, you have to be able to work certain things. Just because my knee hurting, that doesn't mean that I need to work my knee. I need to work my hips, right? I need to work my ankles. And you got certain things that we're all like, our body is so symmetrical, right? You got your wrists, then what are your wrists on the bottom half? Your ankles, you got your shoulders up top. What are your shoulders? Your hips, you know what I'm saying? You got your elbows. What are your elbows? Your knees, right? Like, so it's symmetrical, and you just got to
There it is. Yeah, you're symmetrical. We get your hips, you got your knees, you got your elbows, got your knees, you got your hands, got your feet. You know, like that. He's just an enigma, right?
That's a franchise QB for sure. For sure. I don't think the Broncos say no if the Saints offer Jameis for Russell straight up right now. I think they're like, all right, let's do this. Let's do the damn thing.
Money magic, the legs both connected to the foot bone. The foot bone connected to the toe bone. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about here. So Saints own the Buccaneers here, and that's what I lean Saints, you lean Saints. I didn't bet it, but that's what I think the Saints win this game.
Yep. I'm there.
Right in the middle of that. You know what I mean? Says yeah. Hi-yo. Brady's balls haven't worked since people been caught deflating his balls, says Chad.
Yeah. I don't think he's used them at all.
No.
They're done. They're done for. You get to that age, you know?
They barely beat the Falcons, so I have Bucks. Yeah, it's just
don't play that game, G girl.
Don't
play that game.
Don't do it. I'm telling you, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yep. Don't play they barely beat this team, so they're gonna not win against this team. It's a dangerous game to play.
So Titans
Falcons might be good. Mariota's gonna be better than you guys think. I'm all on board with Mariota. I also have a buddy who's
what do we got, Rick?
number one Mariota fan in the world.
Where did turkey come from? It oozed out of Greece.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There you go.
Roger.
Titans are in trouble, says B-Dub. What's up, B-Dub? How are we doing, my friend? I saw you early in the chat. Welcome back in. B-Dub got says the Titans are in trouble, and I think you're right as well. Buffalo, 10-point favorites here. Buffalo is one of the best teams in the league. Just put it out there.
Bold, Chris.
Bold.
No one else is picking Buffalo.
Nobody. No, I'm the only one. And they're gonna do well. There's a 10-point spread here. This is in Buffalo, so this is the first chance the Bills Mafia home stadiums get to break some tables and light some things on fire, and they're gonna go full out in this one to welcome in the Titans. I think this home field advantage is going to be pretty substantial here for the Bills, even though we've mentioned that there's only a handful of true home fields around the NFL. I think Lambeau's one. I think Denver's one with the altitude. I think, there's a handful of them out there. Bills, I feel like, are starting to get to a point a little bit more with the hype that they've had, the following. I just think that this one is going to be a very big game for the Buffalo Bills, and I think that they'll perform pretty well at home. I don't know if they cover. I think that 10 is still a high number in the NFL from week to week, but I think the Bills should be good enough to at least cover this, but I'm not betting it.
I mean, looking at everyone in the chat, everyone's just like, the Titans are going to lose by 1 million in the chat. And listen, I think the Bills are phenomenal. I think them and the Chiefs have separated themselves from the rest of the league. I get that, but part of me is seeing all these people say that. I'm like, maybe I should be on the Titans in this game, because if the whole world thinks the Bills are going to cover this 10, guess what? They probably won't. That said, I can't bet it. I mean, the Titans obviously lost at home. I was down on the Titans going into the season, lost at home to the Giants in week 1 with the missed field goal at the end. But they're just a team that I'm not high on this year. You go into Buffalo. Buffalo gets the extra time to prep for this game after the Thursday night in week 1. Raring to go with their first home game off a big win against the Super Bowl champs. Like, everything says Buffalo kills it in this game. I just can't pull the trigger on that. I mean, the Buffalo's going to win this game. I'd be shocked if they don't. But do they cover the 10? Part of me thinks somehow they don't. Like maybe a weird backdoor cover or something. But like, I think this game is going to be a little closer than I think a lot of people think. But Buffalo's clearly the better side here.
Diggs and Davis outscore Titans by themselves, says Devil Doc. Titans can't stop any runs played soft and let Saquon go all over them, says Money Magic. Only way this is close is if Derek goes for 100 plus. And I mean, that is the recipe, right? To get Derrick Henry running the ball, keep Josh Allen on the sidelines. That's a tall order to ask. You're talking about giving Derrick Henry a lot of carries and a lot of looks. And
did you see him get lit up last week, by the way? I've never seen him get lit up like that.
It's rare
before.
that
I didn't
you
think
see
it was
that.
possible.
It's rare that you see
Yeah, totally depleted, which was kind of fun to see. But I don't know. I mean, this Titans team is like still solid, but not spectacular. The Bills are a juggernaut. Milwaukee, just wait till Josh Allen gets hurt scrambling around. I said this on our Thursday show. Like, he's the one quarterback when I see running, I'm like not worried about. I'm like, he's bigger than most of the people trying to tackle him. Like, he's moving quickly. I don't mind Josh Allen running the ball. Like, he is a big dude. He's physical. I'm not worried about him getting hurt for whatever reason.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you want him to take a bunch of hits, but he can handle them. He can handle. APC, what's up? You missed a lot of our Tom Brady action, my friend. So we already talked about your boy. So sorry, you just missed it. But welcome in. Would you start Singletary in this one?
Depends on who else you got to run.
Yeah, back. I think you have to figure out who else you have. Because Singletary's fine, but if you have other options,
I don't like Singletary very much.
I think he's fine. I don't think he's not. You shouldn't expect much out of him, but he's fine.
He'll probably go for 100 points this week.
I feel like Tannehill is overrated. Put in the rooks, says Chad. I mean, they're not going to do that. Not for a while, at least. It's going to be a mid-season or late-season move if they are struggling that they end up moving to the rook for sure. Tannehill
looked great, guys, and I'll get into that later. I have proof that he was amazing in week 1.
Tannehill proved that he had last year after Henry went down. What that song said, he didn't impress me much. That don't impress me much. That's my singing. Shania Twain.
That was nice.
Yeah. It would be for the flex. Him, Chark, or Duvernay. Duvernay had a decent game. 2 touchdowns, obviously, for Duvernay. So I don't think Duvernay recreates that. I think he falls back down to earth from that first initial game, but do I think he gets some looks? Yeah. Chark, I don't think
he's not on the field enough, Duvernay.
Yeah. Tannehill is fine when they miss the kick. It's the OC.
Wait, Duvernay.
Baltimore.
That's what I thought I was like, how did we get to Baltimore though? Oh, it's a flex position. It's a flex position. I was missing the boat there. Duvernay is wide receiver 2 on an offense that's never had a good wide receiver 2 fantasy wise. Yes. Duvernay he got good numbers, but he wasn't like his snap percentage was pretty low. I don't expect that moving forward to be a good option, to be honest.
I'll be taking Robert Woods on here. Robert Woods over receptions prop because he used to play for the Bills. Yeah. I mean, I think that could be interesting. Robert Woods
play for the Bills?
Yeah. Yeah, that's who they... Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't I remember that? I mean, he definitely did.
Yeah, he did. For sure. All right. So, there you go.
For like a year in 20... Oh, no, he's there for... Never mind. I'll stop talking.
Guys...
I'll stop talking.
There you go here. We are back to the Chargers Chiefs, which we already covered first. So that is our week 2 preview. If we missed talking about a particular game, throw it in the chat. I know there was some love for the Browns and Jets. However, we're not wanting to hear about that. Everyone kind of bailed on that idea real quick. So we're not going to be talking Browns Jets. But, you know, if there's other games that you want to talk about or other fantasy notes that you want to talk about, let's go ahead and throw those in the chat so we can get to those as well. But Money Magic game of the week: Chiefs Chargers, Packers by 28. That's one of let's get to that. We told you, Milwaukee, that we were excited about the Packers this week. So let's dive into our best bets. And there's good news and bad news for you here. Milwaukee's, because there's a lot of new people that haven't been here since last year.
Yeah.
Now, there's one common denominator here in our picks of the week. I went 1-3 last week. You went 2-2 last week. But last year, Scotty, we had a trend that every time we don't talk about our picks, I submit mine and you have yours. We don't talk about our picks. Whenever we agree on one team to win, and it's exactly the same bet, it doesn't fare so well. We both like the Packers to beat the Bears. I mean, honestly, Scott, they own them, right? They said that last year, but they own them. The Packers started out slow last year, got blown out the first game, and absolutely destroyed the second game. I expect the same thing to happen here. Now, I think the Bears are a little inflated. I think the Packers are a little bit, on the... I think the line here, I think needs to be 11, maybe, or so. 11.5 in that range. It's at 9.5. I think the Packers win this by double digits. We both got it at 9.5. I think the Packers roll. Scotty, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, listen, by default, I'm just going to bet the Packers against the Bears, especially at home and especially in prime time. It's never been close. This is our Sunday night game. I'm kind of sad that it is, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be a very competitive game. I don't think it's going to be close. I know the Bears went out and beat a San Francisco team that we like a lot. But that was in like a monsoon. It was weird conditions. I mean, the offense still didn't play well for the Bears by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think they hang with a Packers team that's going to pour it on after being upset after a week 1 loss. I think the Packers roll by a lot. They dominate the Bears every time they play them in prime time. So it's almost, I bet this last year. I'm betting it again. It's by default. It's like an automatic pick for me every year, especially if it's in prime time, because Rodgers is going to ball out even more for that.
Yeah, and I think, all right, so I have a theme. My theme, by the way, Cuban, you beat me by 0.4 in fantasy. I demand a Roy test.
Yeah, I'd question it.
Yeah, I'll take a test for you, Cuban. It might not come back clean.
I don't think he was roiding because his score was still pretty low.
I mean, dub's a dub. Let's go. So I have I bet this week, and I took a lot of teams that are on the redemption tour, a lot of teams that are coming back from a week 1 disappointment that I think will be able to bounce back and get a nice little rebound here. So Packers, I got winning by double digits. Broncos, we already talked about. I have winning by at least double digits at home. Russ's debut. The Packers, the Broncos are just the home field advantage. You talked about it, that early altitude, week 1 through week 3 at home is a very tough place to play. All the circumstances lean towards Broncos winning that game by at least double digits. Cardinals, I think, keep this one closer than what people think as well. I think their embarrassing loss to a really, really good team, the best team in the league, is probably gonna, come back. They're gonna get back on track here, wake themselves up. The defense will wake up. The offense will wake up. They'll make less mistakes. I think they cover. And then the Colts, embarrassing for Colts standards. I think that they end up getting back on track here as well. I think they can cover 4. I have this game more at like 6-ish in that range. It should be. I think the Colts cover 4 here and take
Colts
this one.
haven't won in Jacksonville since like 2014, but you do you.
I'm going to do it. I think the trend is I'll go against the trend there. Scotty, you have a couple here. I'm going to take my code yellow, but go ahead and get into yours. You have Lions and a couple others here.
Yeah, that we haven't talked about. I got the teaser. I touched on the Bengals when we talked about that game. I think against the Cowboys, they should be able to win that game by more than 1.5 pretty easily. I paired that with the Panthers against the Giants. Giants riding high. No offense, G-Girl. And I think, the Giants could certainly win this game. Get to 2-0. But give me an 8-point cushion with the Panthers, and everyone spam code yellow. I'm the worst at talking about that as Chris is gone. But give me an 8-point cushion with the Panthers team that I think is going to look forward to rebounding a little bit. I think it'll be a close game. I think the Giants win, but I don't think they win by more than one touchdown. So I'll take that as my teaser. I talked about the Dolphins, Ravens under, Lions -1.5. Chairman, I'm going to continue to ride the Lions. They hit for me last week, barely. This week at home against Commanders. Historically, in week 2, a team that lost in week 1 that is facing a team that won in week 1 dominates against the spread. That's what we have here. Lions -1.5. I still don't believe in the Commanders that much. I don't think they're a very good squad. I think the Lions get their first win of the season and take a dub there. And then we talked about the Packers. So, not a great week 1 for either Chris and I. 2-2 for me, 1-3 for Chris. But we're going to bounce back this week. We're both hitting on the Packers, and then we'll see what happens with the rest of these. But I feel good about it. I feel good about these picks. I think they're going to work out. Gamble responsibly, though.
That's true. But cash in when you can.
Yeah,
we did well last year overall. If you I forget what our combined score was last year, but I felt like overall between you and me, we did very, very well in the grand scheme of things.
It's early. It's just 1 week.
We'll be
It's
fine.
just 1 week. Let's go, Chairman. I'm going to just bet the Lions every week and go like 10-6 on those bets. 11-6. 17 weeks.
Do you think the Cowboys stick with Rush in the entire time Dak is out, or does Jera panic and get someone else?
Right now, Jera thinks that Dak is coming back in 4 weeks, and that's not a reality. I think I could easily see them going out and picking up literally a dude off the street because, I mean, Cooper Rush is so bad. Cooper Rush is not going to win a game. He's not going to win a game.
Jerry Jones doesn't want to go into week 2, but there's not enough time to get somebody in here up to speed that quickly. They're going to get beat this handily in this game, I think. And Jerry Jones is not going to have it. Like, this is the last week you will see Cooper Rush, I think, here on out. They'll figure something out. They'll try to make a trade or try to make something happen or pick up somebody different. Something will happen. So there you go. Picks of the week. So with that being said, we are almost towards the top of the hour, which means if you guys don't know, if you guys are new to the channel, we have something that
let's be nice. Let's be nice.
What do we got here? Let's be nice to somebody.
What are we going to be nice towards? I hate being nice.
Historic
it's the worst.
Yachty and Wayno just set the record for the most games started by a battery in history.
I don't think the word battery is correct there.
I don't think so
is that
either.
Like, you mean like with Wayno starting and Yachty catching, like the combo? Most ever? With those two comboing up there?
I mean,
and I could say something nice about that very easily. Hell of an accomplishment, Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's you already said it for yourself.
Battery is a pitcher combo duo.
That's the first time I work in baseball, and I've never heard that.
Scotty works in baseball.
I've never heard battery. Battery is not used in Colorado. I promise you that.
That's new to us.
Nope, that is not a real thing.
I mean, you learn something new any day, right? Scotty, I hate being nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm much better at not.
No, that's a great combo. I mean, Yachty and Wayno. Let's go. Yachty.
Well, you have no pitchers in Colorado. Well, we've won 62 games this year without pitchers.
Yeah.
Is that a flex? I don't know.
It's a flex.
Roger.
So, Scotty, we have your world famous segment here, coming in hot. We are gonna finish off our show with a coming in hot. Guys, keep real quick before we get into that. Don't stick around. It's coming up very, very quickly here. I want to get a couple things though. If you haven't joined our Pick'em League, go ahead and ! contest. I'll throw it out there now. Join our Pick'em. It's not too late. You can join in. You can see how you're going to fare. You can enter. I think Survivor's already done, right? You got to be able to join the Survivor before the season starts. So don't go ahead. Don't join the Survivor. But go ahead, do the pick'em. You might still have a chance to win. Who knows? I mean, we've had people join in like week 3 and still finish in the top, 5.
I usually forget to pick like at least 2 weeks.
There's
so you're fine.
easily a week where I forget to pick as well. So there's always room to catch up. Make sure you join in. We have a lot of fun. You can win Action Lab merch from our store, exclamation point store. We got the store with all sorts of new merch. Go ahead, click on that link, and you will get taken to our store where we have hoodies, hats, everything. I actually owe Klept a hat, so I need to make sure I connect with him. But join in and get some of your Action Lab gear. A lot of stuff in there, so go check that out.
Chairman, how do you work for the Rockies and you've never heard of the Battery? I think you answered your question. I work for the Rockies. Okay, we haven't heard of everything yet. We're still adapting to the game.
That's right. We're still trying to figure.
I don't know. I've never heard Battery before. Like, I quit playing baseball when I was like, I don't know, in like the 4th grade, Chris. It wasn't my thing. I had ADD. Sitting around the field wasn't my thing. I'd rather do other things. But I've never heard the term Battery before. Literally never.
I thought it was a typo. I didn't know that was a thing either. So, I mean, you and I are both in the same boat there.
I just don't think it's used in Colorado.
It's because we have to have a pitcher to actually be able to use that, I guess. Who knows?
We have people that throw the ball towards the catcher. Okay? We shut out the White Sox today. 3-0. Kyle Freeland, let's go. On the road.
Football wife, you owe me a new wardrobe, Chris. If you'll let me buy you a wardrobe, I'll get you a wardrobe, football wife. How about that?
Roger.
Rack, still adapting to the game. Next time you'll pay a team $40 million to take your shot. Yeah, instead of 50, we'll pay only 40. But I will also say I'm glad Nolan's not on our team. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I know it was a universally not well received deal and all that, but I'm glad Nolan's not on our team.
Oh yeah, sorry. The store's down for a second. Sorry. I think
the store's down, Chris.
Store's
we were
down.
Gonna be popping off in the store tonight.
You're popping off.
What
getting
are we?
Football wife
What
for
are we
wardrobe.
doing?
I think the Shopify.
No one will choke when it matters most. Don't worry.
No. So, anyways, we'll get the store fixed by the time Scotty's done with his.
Chairman's like, Scotty, seriously, this will be great content. Take a poll, ask people around work tomorrow if they know what a battery is. Chairman, I promise you, if I take a poll with the people I work with, it's gonna be like literally over 95% won't know what the hell I'm saying. They will not have known what battery is. No chance.
No shots. So. I haven't heard of that. So,
yeah, I still think it's made up, and everyone in our chat is just playing a trick on us, Chris.
Yeah,
they're punking us right now. We're being punked.
100%. I don't understand it, but go ahead, Scotty. Talk to people at work. I don't know.
Reckoning wants to know how many subs bits for Scotty to film himself asking everyone what a battery is. Quite a bit, guys.
That's a 15er, I think.
Pony up. Oh, way more than that. What?
Okay.
15? I'm going in the confines of Coors Field. I'm going into the depths, Chris. This is private access. I'm probably going to lose my job over this.
You're going to lose your job over asking people about batteries.
Yes. Can't disclose what happens within the confines of Coors Field.
It's all locked down, man. You can't do it. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go in, and I think I have. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna pull one thing up. All right, Shopify link ! Store is good. So go ahead, join in ! Store. The link is hot. Once again, go check it out and see.
Hopefully they're still interested.
We have coffee mugs, we have hats, we have water bottles, we have hoodies, we have shirts, we have quarter zips, we have all sorts of cool stuff.
Are our faces on them, or is it just our other logo?
No, I'm gonna get merch with our faces on them.
We need our faces on it, Chris. Even though my face doesn't look anything like that, still.
Yeah,
That's
we're gonna get
what's gonna sell, Chris.
We're gonna get our
faces,
our animated faces on hats and stuff, on shirts. I think that'd be good.
That's like a caricature.
Caricature, yeah, it's fine.
No, caricature. Caricature. Say it again.
Caricature.
There you go.
There it is. All right, Scotty. Well, we got a coming in hot that's gonna blow people's socks off. So go ahead. Get ready. For anyone who doesn't know, Scotty has a thing, something that he's always fired up about.
I would argue leave your socks on. I'm not like that foot fetish guy. Just leave them on. You said blow socks off. Leave them on.
Rex, you're not Rex Ryan style here. We're not doing Rex Ryan.
The whole foot thing is weird to me. Super weird.
All right. Well, here you go, guys. You waited all week for it. It's Wednesday. It is time for Scotty A. Smith coming in hot. Let's get it.
All right, guys. Listen, I'm going to dive into PFF. If you don't know what PFF is, it's Pro Football Focus, and I would like to start by saying I appreciate throughout the years what Pro Football Focus has done. They have ranked, they've applied ratings to every position player out there. They have gone and they've evaluated play in, play out, and they give a plus rating, a minus rating, and they evaluate players. And it's done a ton for, like, before that, we didn't really have a means to evaluate like an offensive lineman outside of like, oh, did they give up a sack or not? Or a defensive lineman. And like a lot of these positions that like you just didn't know how to evaluate, PFF provided you with this rating system that like gave the work to them and allowed you to understand, all right, this player's playing really well or not. Now, is the system perfect? Oh, Lordy, no. No. Okay. I'm going to talk about the quarterback ratings after week 1, Chris. Not a big surprise here. I think people are going to be understanding when I think they're going to focus on one player in this rankings that I'm upset about, but there's a lot. All right, real quick, Chris. Player rating, their player grades, just to give you an idea. A rating in between 190 on PFF is elite. 89 to 85 is a Pro Bowler. 84 to 70 is a starter. 69 to 60 is a backup, and 59 or below is replaceable. Okay. So the one I really want you to focus on, actually 2 of them, 89 to 85 is a Pro Bowler, and 84 to 70 is a starter in the league at that position. Okay. So we get into the PFF ratings for week 1. Josh Allen tops the list, 91.5. I don't have a problem with that. Josh Allen played great. They played really well. He deserves to be certainly like top 2 on this list. Fine. Kirk Cousins 2. Okay. I mean, they put up 23 points against a really good defense with the Packers. Obviously he has Justin Jefferson to throw to, and he was open a lot of times, but fine. Kirk Cousins played well week 1. Number 3, Chris. Geno Smith. Geno, we scored 17 points, Smith, and we scored 0 points in the second half, Smith. I don't care how well, like, who was evaluating it to reach the conclusion that Geno Smith leading his team to 17 points, 0 in the second half, and I can go one step further. In the fourth quarter, they had negative 12 yards of offense. Geno Smith was the number 3 rated quarterback in the league this week with negative 12 yards of offense in the fourth quarter in a closely contested contest against the Broncos. And he's number 3. Okay? Maybe we should start to question our evaluating process. Number 4, Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill just lost at home to the Giants. No offense, G-Girl, but the Giants. You're up 13-0 at half because you're not able to plug some in the end zone like you should. You score 1 touchdown in the second half. That's all you put on the board. Ryan Tannehill, 81.1. So, by the way, I didn't put out these ratings. The only elite player was Josh Allen. Kirk Cousins was the only Pro Bowler, and now we're in starter range with Geno Smith, Ryan Tannehill, Justin Herbert's number 5. Fine, great, love Herbert. Totally fine with Herbert at 5. Jameson Winston 6. I'm not that opposed to that. Like, he came back. He played not great for a long time, but had a phenomenal fourth quarter. You want to, grant him that and give him some, credit for that. And a week overall that I don't think quarterback play was that high. He was at a 79. Lamar Jackson comes in 7th, 76.8, because he put up 24 points against the Jets in a game where they had 274 yards of total offense, not just passing offense, total offense. Lamar gets 7th. What are we doing here? Jalen Hurts. Actually, it's a tie for 7th with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts deserves to be higher on this list, quite frankly, in week 1. I'm not high on Jalen Hurts every week or moving forward that high, but in week 1, put up 38 against Detroit. That offense was great. He was accurate. He got the ball out. He featured A.J. Brown like he should. Phenomenal week. He should be higher. Then we get to 9. The AFC Player of the Week. Offensive Player of the Week. Pat Mahomes, my boy, is 9th. His rating is 74.2. He's almost below starter rating. Starter is at 70. If he drops below 70, he's not even a starter level in this league. He put up 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks. They scored a touchdown on like every drive except for one. And then there was also a fumble on another drive that Juju had after a 19-yard pass on their first play of the drive to Juju, and then he fumbles. Mahomes was spectacular. He's 9th on this list. How do you not look at this list if you're PFF? And then Brady was 10th. And they scored 1 whole touchdown all game against an offense that couldn't move the ball, and they got countless possessions. They got 1 touchdown and 19 points. How do you not, if you're in charge of PFF and you see this list, how do you not be like, okay, we need to reevaluate? No, I saw people went to town on the Patrick Mahomes rating, and all PFF did is defend it. Like, oh yeah, he had some easy passes on some of those touchdowns. And people were like, yeah, all of his touchdowns, he had 5 touchdowns that equaled 18 yards. And I'm like, well, how did they get in that position? How did they get so close to the end zone? Magic? Was it magic? Was it sorcery? Or did Pat Mahomes lead him down the field? Like, what are we doing, PFF? I respect what you've done for so much, but I now am questioning how you don't look at this and reevaluate at least your quarterback ratings. I don't know about your others, but your quarterback ratings are broken, and it makes me not want to visit your website one iota, because this is either on purpose to get clicks because it's purposely bad, or you truly believe in this, and then you literally have no idea what you're fucking talking about. It's awful. It's embarrassing. Fix it. Improve it. Agree that you just need to adjust it. Learn from your mistakes. How do we fix this? Because when you have Geno Smith at 3 and Ryan Tannehill at 4 and Patrick Mahomes at 9 in week 1, you're out of your damn mind, Chris.
I mean, Geno he's the best. He's the best of the best. I mean, what can I say? He killed it.
Negative 12 yards of offense in the fourth quarter, Chris. That's what he led his team to. And he's number 3 quarterback in the league this week.
Unbelievable. It blows my mind. I mean, I see it firsthand. Come on, man. I see it firsthand with the Geno Smith stuff, and everyone's like, oh, Geno looked fantastic. He looked absolutely killer. He did for a half. What did he do in the second half? They scored 0 points in the second half. What do we talk about second half quarterbacks? They're better than first half quarterbacks because they actually do stuff when the game is on the line, right? So if you were to tell me,
Mahomes is graded down because he throws to open players. And I'm like, okay, some of that scheme, but he also is great at finding the open player. Would he be rewarded more so if he avoids the open player and throws to a covered guy an elite throw? It's stupid, PFF. Fix it.
So this comes back to analytics nerds. The analytics nerds, take the analytics out. Sometimes I'm just like, there's too many nerds out there with too many analytics that you get too convoluted with all of these thoughts and all of these things that are happening. And you start overthinking things. You're like, oh, this number says this and this number. Just look at it at its face. He scored 5 touchdowns. He won the game. He threw that many yards. Like, just look
Didn't even play the whole game. 360, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Like, come on.
Pro Football Focus, if you're saying that you would rather have number 3 Geno Smith over number 9 Patrick Mahomes, like if you're asking anybody around the league or around the NFL world or anybody who relatively knows football, I think you have...
On that week 1 performance alone. Just like I was told all offseason how the Chiefs are going to regress because they don't have Tyreek Hill. And now all of a sudden they put up those numbers and it's like, yeah, but the players were so good. Like, his weapons are so good. It's like, when can it be about Mahomes?
Lions Den, what's up, buddy?
Lions,
how you doing?
What's up? Been a while. How you doing?
I was in Lions chat earlier having a good time. He was playing some Madden, but welcome, man. Go give Lions a follow if you have not already. He is absolutely incredible with what he does with Madden and all the other sports content he throws out there. He works hard and he does a lot of good stuff on Twitch. Joker, what's up, guys?
What's up, Joker? And then my boy Mackie. What's up, Mackie?
Everyone rolling in?
How you doing? Yeah, everyone's rolling in as we're about to conclude, guys. You missed us talking about a lot of cosplay is how I'm going to say it forever. We talked about a lot of weird things tonight, guys, but we had a lot of fun and we talked about a lot of sports. But Mackie, thanks for getting in here late, better than never. Hope you're doing well. He's like, your Chiefs played amazing. That's before he texted me before the game, like, Chiefs. But actually, he's told me the Chiefs aren't making the playoffs and they very well could lose to Arizona this week. That went well.
It did, yeah. Let's, in retrospect, everything looks,
We talked some batteries as well.
Sky will die on that hill that cosplay is pronounced cosplay.
Yeah,
he'll die on that hill.
I mean, phonetically, that's how it should be pronounced. I was an English major. That's not true. No one should ever be an English major. But I was pretty good at English. Phonetically, that it's not cosplay there. You don't spell it like that, and you don't get cosplay out of that.
But going back to your PFF, a lot of people, I mean, we've had people on our stream last season who was like, yeah, PFF is trash. And, we've been like, oh, there's benchmarks of like some interesting stats that they pull and some interesting rankings that they pull and this and that. But like, you take it with a grain of salt, right? I think this is more, evidence of that. You take it with a grain of salt because it's not going to actually tell you. It's just it's all statistic nerds that put.
I'm super salty, Chris.
Oh yeah, it's getting to a point where you can't always just look at these and be like it's the end all be all. You got to look at it with the big picture of, hey, is Geno Smith the number 3 quarterback and is Patrick Mahomes the number 9? Probably not. I think you would take most of those guys in the top 10 over Geno Smith. So, it's just part of it. So Elmo smells salt, says Reckonings. Football Wife says salt. Kyler couldn't study the playbook because he was watching all the new Jackson Mahomes videos.
Is he putting out good content?
Is he?
Because I'll dive back into that. He doesn't. The good news is I don't think he lives in Kansas City anymore, so that's helpful. I think he's out in like L.A. or something, where he probably belongs.
Go Vikes. Tough game against the Eagles Monday. Joker, that's our second favorite game of the week besides the Chargers and Chiefs. So that's going to be a fantastic one. I can't wait for that one. Jackson never produces good content, says Reckoning.
I mean, I won't disagree, but he also has so many people following him. So even if it's bad content, people still watch. Maybe he does it on purpose. Maybe he's purposely bad. That's next level. That's what I want to be, Chris. So bad that people watch. I mean, that's what like Skip Bayless is, right?
Yeah.
Like Skip Bayless has made it as being a Stephen A, my boy, my brother, at times is like so bad that it's good.
Yeah. Kendrick Perkins. I mean, you name it. I mean, all of them.
There's a ton of analysts out there that just say wildest stuff, like just wild stuff, Chris, that makes no sense at all. And then people get upset about it, but that just leads to more people watching. They're waiting for them to say something dumb.
Yeah. And it's just part of
Scotty,
it.
you're already bad and people watch this stream. It's so nice to have mods like this, you know?
That's just we love the support from our mods. It's great. Yeah. By the way, guys, I know we said it early in the stream. If you guys are local and you are interested in watching the game tomorrow somewhere, Scotty and I are looking for a place to watch the game. If you guys are local here in Colorado, Cuban, I know, I believe, Diacola and, Marie. I know Marie's not here, but like anybody else who's local here in Colorado, Broncos, hit us up in the Discord. Let us know if you guys are interested in going out somewhere, and we're thinking about going and catching the game somewhere with you guys. Dandy Dance, says Cuban.
I don't know where
that is. I don't even know if that's a real place.
We're on like the southern side of Denver.
Yeah,
I'm like literally gonna Google Dandy
So
Dance.
we're down on the south side.
That is okay. That's adult entertainment, Chris. I should have known better with Cuban throwing that out. That is a adult entertainment facility,
and that's in your Google search history now.
No, and this is my work computer, so thanks a lot, Cuban. Unbelievable.
So yeah, no, we're on the south side here locally. We're like Littleton Highlands Ranch, south side of Denver area.
Lone Tree. I'm in Lone Tree.
So guys, if you guys are interested, again, hit us up in the Discord. Let us know if you are, if we can meet up. I think Scotty and I will be going somewhere down south of the metro area, somewhere to watch the game. So let us know what you guys are thinking. Yep. Otherwise, we are wrapping up the stream tonight. We will not be live. Oh, sorry, we're not leaving that early. We are wrapping up the stream tonight. We are getting out of here, but we have a big matchup tomorrow.
Psych.
Big matchup tomorrow. Chiefs and Chargers. We can't wait for that one. We will be back here live on Sunday for Sunday Night Football. We have a huge matchup then as well. We will be doing bingo. Well, we hope it's competitive. We hope it's competitive.
Packers Bears. Why do we get this all the time?
But we will have a dog in the fight with one bingo card, and two, we both have Packers minus 9.5 to win that game. So we will be watching that one closely. Guys, we appreciate everything that you bring to each and every stream. You guys have brought it so hard tonight. We thank you so much for being here with us, talking sports, talking week 2, talking NBA a little bit. You always have headlines popping up, but we can't do this stream without you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the gifted subs. Thank you for all the bits, all the insights and opinions. It is always great stream, guys. Thank you so much, football wife. Thank you guys.
A lot of people want me to poll people at work. I mean, I might poll them. I don't know if I'm going to do it on camera. Probably won't. Cuban talking about Dandy Dan's, the kind of place you need a shot after you leave. I read that initially, the kind of place you get shot after you leave. He turned it in from the doctor. You need a shot. I just thought you just literally leave and you get shot.
It's always a crapshoot. 100%.
Yeah.
Roger.
When you go to Dandy Dan's, another place that apparently is here in Denver that I've never heard of, Chris. Never heard of Dandy Dan.
I mean, I've heard of. I mean, if we're talking about adult entertainment, you hear PTs, you hear,
it's the one off Broadway there.
Broadway.
Not Broadway, Colorado. Sorry, Colorado.
Shotgun Willie's.
Shotgun. Yeah.
All the classics. Everyone from out of town's like, Shotgun Willie's? What the hell?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff you guys got going on out there in Denver? What is this? But yeah, no. Guys, thank you so much. We can't wait. We're here to get you through the rest of your week, and we hope we did that. It's only downhill from here. Thursday is tomorrow. We have Thursday Night Football. Friday is who works on Friday anymore? And then it's on to the weekend, college football and NFL Sunday. So we it gets easier and easier. The only thing we ask of you guys, there's 3 things. 1, share our stream, share with everybody else out there. Make sure that people know who we are, and we can get more people in our community. We want to grow this community.
If we have to do more cosplay, we can do that.
We will do that 100%. Now, the second thing you need to do is go be a good person between now and Sunday. As long as you're a good person, that's half the battle. Like, just go be good people and represent everything we do here in Action Lab well, because you guys are outstanding already. So keep that up. Thirdly, buy merch too. Broncos says buy merch. Broncos, that's another. Good.
Buy some merch. Send some photos of your merch in Discord. Let's go get some merch.
Yeah, we'll share. If you guys get some merch and you want to share those images with us, we will post it all over our social media. Everything. We'll have some fun. We love to see that, so that means a lot to us. Everything goes back to the show, by the way. You buy merch, it goes back to the show. We don't take that money, and we don't, everything that you guys do for this show goes back into the show to make it better for everybody else. And, that's always been how we go about things. Thirdly, and fourthly, I should say, after the merch, is
we'll get into seventhly later, guys.
We just have, all of a sudden it's grown to a whole Santa's wish list of things. Go be a good person, right? And then go live in the moment. Put the phone down, enjoy the people around you. Tomorrow night, we're going to put the phone down, enjoy the football game, and enjoy some of you guys if you guys want to join us. And
Chris is going to be constantly posting in our Discord.
Oh, I'll be all over my phone. Yeah,
he's not going to put the phone down at all.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a problem. But no, go live in the moment if you can. It's definitely worth it, and enjoy the people or the things that are happening around you. So, love you guys. Enjoy, and we will see you back here Sunday. We are gonna go raid our boy Human Juke, who is he always gives late night vibes. He's a Bills fan. He always crushes, and we can't wait to send you over to any vibes that he's got going on tonight. So go give Human Juke some love. Do a song request for us. He loves the song requests. So go ahead and give him some love and a follow. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Anything else, Scotty?
No, thank you, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun tonight, and we will see you back here on Sunday night.
All right, guys. Love you. Have a great rest of your week. Love you.